the greedy. Weakened and exposed. Forever on the defense. No longer.
Welcome to the stream, my friends. Hope you guys are doing well. It is time for some Swiss League replays. So all the games you guys are going to be seeing today are best of 5 series from my Swiss League that is ongoing. Should be quite a bit of fun. How you guys doing? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, so there's always that question. So yeah, the soundtrack for that intro video is actually from the Doom 2016 game. It is titled BFG Division, and it's by Mick Gordon, if you guys want to look it up. And I believe he also did the soundtrack for the most recent Doom game as well. That's it. The good times are rolling, man. So the first best of 5 we're going to be having today is a series between Kotzum and Malverde. So certainly a very fun series. The first game actually, I believe, has some Free Company Militia. So we'll be loading in just a second. Just going to hang tight, chat with you guys, have a sip of water, and we'll get this party started. You know, I would use a Fear Factory song for sure, but the problem is usually on YouTube, it's totally fine to use like game soundtracks. Because obviously the publishers, like if every YouTube video, you know, you put up covering, let's say Total War Warhammer, let's say like Creative Assembly flagged your videos for using the game soundtrack, right? Like just wouldn't work. So game soundtracks are usually fair play, in my experience, but you know, obviously using bands and things like that, it wouldn't work out so well. What's Kislev? Kislev is a faction in Warhammer Fantasy. Basically Warhammer Slavs. Pretty awesome. They got bear cavalry, all sorts of cool stuff. Yeah, welcome guys. Yeah, somebody in chat has a pretty nice answer for you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'd be willing to wager that Kislev is like, because we already saw Kislev teased by Games Workshop for the old world, and I think anything that will be in the old world is going to be probably seen in Game 3, simply because, you know, Games Workshop and CA do have a bit of a history of marketing and doing cross promotion. Like when Grombrindle the White Dwarf was added to Total War Warhammer, Games Workshop was doing a cross promotion with that, where I believe they had their White Dwarf model coming out, the new Grombrindle model. So yeah. Yes, Lady Turin is indeed the Tsarina. Welcome, guys. Yes. It's a good time to be alive, man. Let's party. Let's do it. All right, so the first match we're going to be jumping in, like I said, is going to be Kotzum versus Malverde here in a best-of-5 series. The showdown of showdowns. So let's load in and see if this all works out. So for the Sons of Sigmar, here in the front line, let's make sure it loads in first. It's a very small map. So on this round of the Swiss League, the Troll Country was the first map to be played. So the maps you guys will be seeing in today's stream will be more or less the same. So my apologies for that, but regardless, they were some very, very solid matches between these guys here. So I'm just going to double check, make sure it's actually switching to the correct scene, and it looks totally fine. Great. So for the Empire front line, it's going to be Flagell and Sigmar Sons. Probably one of my favorite front lines. I almost always use that, like regardless of the matchup. It's just so nice. Yeah, they might not beat Norscan Berserkers, but they hold the line, which is really the important thing, allowing your Hellblaster volley gun and your cavalry to really just do some big, thick damage. So it's going to be a front line. Yeah, Spearmen, Sigmar Sons. A lot of, not handgunners, but Free Company Militia. Shit's getting hog wild up in this game. So in total, Kotzum has come in with 4 Free Company Militia. 1, 2, 3, and 4. The 4th of which is the Sterling's Revenge. So if you guys are wondering what this bad boy does, the Sterling's Revenge basically just has better AP values and also has better combat stats. So that's that. Hellblaster Volley Gun, one of my personal favorites as well. On a map like this, certainly quite nice. Your opponent doesn't have a lot of time to maneuver around your Hellblaster Volley Gun, right? Troll Country, they start in range. You could immediately just start blasting onto the Mounts of Savagery, Berserkers, any number of targets. We got 2 Knights of the Blazing Sun, and if you guys aren't Empire players, this is most certainly a strong choice. Knights of the Blazing Sun do amazing shock damage. I don't know why my brain just like stuttered out there. Amazing shock damage against Norscan infantry who all have light armor, and on top of that, they do fire damage against Skinwolves. And yeah, Skinwolves, of course, are weak to fire, being a regenerating unit. We got a Jade Wizard. We got Karl Franz up in the sky with Golem Raz and the Rune Fang. He's got 1 in each hand, apparently. And let's go ahead and take a look here at the Norscan Horde. So for Norska, frontline Marauders, Berserkers here in the secondary. Familiar with Great Weapons, not a bad choice against the Knights of the Blazing Sun. Certainly gives you some anti-large punch. Now, isn't too much heavy AP here, with the exception of the Hellblaster and Franz. So they'll certainly have their work cut out for them here, trying to go after the Famir. You got Beasts of Tashnar on either side, it looks like. Norscan Warhounds here, and some Condom Wolves with armor in the back, the Arwar Maws of Savagery. So then I just started blasting. Danny DeVito would be proud of this build. Hellblaster Volley Gun, going to be shooting right away. I had some pretty good success with the Hellblaster Volley Gun in the Chinese tournament I was playing in recently. It was pretty strong. I honestly used to use cannons on a lot of matchups, but I just found the Hellblaster just pays for itself much more efficiently, and also just a little bit more dynamic. Hellblaster Volley Gun can kill single models, it can kill infantry, it can kill cav, whereas the cannon is a little bit more focused. Obviously, you're giving up range, but the Hellblaster Volley Gun just seems to do such good damage. And immediately opening up on the Famir, which is a really good choice. Like I said, there's not too many things on the Empire army, with the exception of Franz and the Hellblaster, that are very good against the Famir warriors. Oh, a little bit of a rough catch here for the Norskins in the flank. They tried to get around the side here with some doggos, these Norscan Ice Wolves, but they do kind of get caught by the Knights of the Blazing Sun. And those Houndos are going to be getting definitely rode down there by the Knights of the Blazing Sun. Now, front line is underway. Looks like a pendulum attempt on the Hellblaster Volley Gun was partially dodged. Kind of a cool option there, right? He was trying to get the crew of that Hellblaster, but they were able to dodge that. Now the Free Company Militia unleashing a shot into the Marauder Berserkers, and the poor Spearmen of Sigmar going to have to intercept them, and they'll be probably massacred pretty badly there. Now some Maws of Savagery do slip through the front line and jump on top of the Free Company Militia, but then they immediately run for the Hellblaster, which is a very good choice. Hellblaster Volley Gun was able to pretty much annihilate the Famir with great weapons. You can see the Famir got wrecked super hard, down to 6 models just from a couple of volleys there. But now the Werewolves, the Condom Wolves, going to be unwrapping themselves here on top of the Hellblaster Volley Gun, while the Knights of the Blazing Sun do come in for a countercharge. Knights of the Blazing Sun will be okay against Maws of Savagery. They are more heavily armored, but with Franz coming in, that could certainly change the dynamic of the fight. But losing the Hellblaster here definitely hurts. It looks like that bad boy is going to be breaking down, negative 61, and it is probably out for the battle, I would imagine. Now, Empire is getting quite a few good trades. Spearmen here are broken, a couple of Marauders are broken up as well. Some of the Famir are more or less dead, and the Condom Wolves are now being sandwiched super hard here. Knights of the Blazing Sun coming in and really wrecking the Maws of Savagery super hard. Yeah, look at that, man. Brutal. Negative 77. That fire damage really does make quite a difference. I mean, it's 22% extra damage, more or less, which is very strong. Free Company Militia, you know, taking a beating for Sigmar, fighting the giant angry werewolf. Obviously, the Skin Wolves are not the best at crowd clearing, but still a very tough piece to get rid of here. Now, here comes the Knights of the Blazing Sun charging in, and of course, the Skin Wolf Werkin is also weak to fire damage, but he's much more heavily armored, so it's not going to be as bad for him. Franz coming in, though. Franz is definitely the way, and I believe he's popped all of his abilities, so Raikon, Runefang, Galmraz, really nice pendulum, actually, is able to hit those Free Company Militia right in the nose. Oh, you know, how could I miss this? We have Footrick the Wanderer. Oh, baby, look at this. It's Footrick. Foot Wolfric against Empire. That is some serious brave play right there. Yeah, Karl Franz, though, is going pretty deep on the Skin Wolf Werkin. He's really taking that bad boy apart very efficiently. And Franz now is going to be pulling back, bouncing on over to the Marauders, while the Skin Wolf Werkin begins to break. And the Free Company Militia, I'm quite curious to see. I mean, I haven't been able to really focus on them too much. Knights of the Blazing Sun have by far been the MVPs, just bouncing around the battlefield and really hammering down all the different Norskin threats, whether it be Hounds or Skin Wolves in the back line. And the Famir obviously will be good against them, but they're just going to be drowned in bodies here. You know, Spearmen are here, Knights of the Blazing Sun. We have Free Company Militia kind of popping these guys, and that is that. So for anyone just joining, Kotzum is the Empire, Malverde is the Norskins, but this is game 1 in a best-of-5 series. Balance of power looking pretty massive here for the Empire. Franz does take quite a bit of damage, though, which does kind of pull the balance of power back, and Footrick the Wanderer is continuing to wander on foot. Skin Wolf Werkin could heal potentially, but I think Empire just has way too much. Free Company Militia are now ripping shots, so you can see they're getting some decent pot shots here into the Skin Wolf Werkin, while the other Knights of the Blazing Sun charge in there and prepare to hammer down the last of these heretics. And here in the back, you can see the Famir warriors with great weapons are being chased off or escorted off very gently by those Empire Spearmen. And it looks like a Melkoth going down. Another reason why Knights of the Blazing Sun are pretty good. Oftentimes, Norska will bring, you know, shadows with Melkoths, or sometimes you'll see death magic. So having that extra magic resist on the Knights of the Blazing Sun of 15% is quite good for sure. So here it is, Knights of the Blazing Sun in Mortal Kombat. Skin Wolf Werkin's got its big pimp claws dragging down a couple of those models. This would be a pretty insane comeback. I mean, for Norska to come back here, I think that Kotzum would have to throw pretty hard with Karl Franz. Like, maybe if he landed Franz here and just let the Werkin and Wolfric kill him, then there might be a chance, but I don't think so. You can see here the Empire's forming a bit of a kill box, which I love. So basically, they've surrounded, look at this, he's surrounded the whole army with Free Company Militia. Oh, I love this. He's got a box right here, and then as soon as the Sigmar Suns break, like, the entire Free Company Militia box is just going to open up and start shooting. Oh my god, this is so funny. They're a little bit obstructed, it looks like, but some shots are getting into the Werkin there, and he is now broken, so I would imagine Sigmar Suns probably wouldn't be able to beat Footrick the Wanderer. He does have Foe Seeker, keeping him very tired instead of exhausted at this point, I guess. And there goes the Skin Wolf Werkin. Most certainly want to chase that bad boy down, but yeah, the box Footrick and solo all this, I don't know about that, man. It's going to be a tall order for sure. Free Company Militia still raining some hot fire in there. Franz just being very, very careful. And there's a Sea Fang right there. It does actually hit the Sterling's Revenge pretty square, and also is able to take a ride through the Free Company Militia here on the southern end of the map. But with that, that is going to be GG. The Sons of Sigmar are going to win it. Very well played. And this is pretty similar to, in this matchup, I like to use Volkmar, and then I use Handgunners instead of Free Company. But honestly, like, any rendition of this sort of build, like with double Knight of the Blazing Sun, can do great work. Hellblaster Volley Gun actually only got 398 value. That's a little bit tough. I guess it died fairly early in the game, but it seemed to do like half HP off the Famir. Or maybe it didn't. I don't know. Maybe something else did it, but... here we do also have Franz doing quite well. Knights of the Blazing Sun, 1,300 and 1,200 respectively. Oh my goodness. Look at the Free Company Militia. Yeah, you guys liked the Hag Guard announcement. I'll make sure to show you guys on stream today too. 1,800, 700, 1,000. Holy shit, 600. These Free Company Militia did super good. See, I didn't really see them in action, but I guess they were able to pepper down the Marauder Berserkers relatively well. Huh. That's really cool, man. Free Company Militia. Very neat build there by Kotzum. And Knights of the Blazing Sun did well, but the Free Company and Knights, I guess, were the hard carries. And for this army, Footrick the Wanderer, he more or less paid for himself. Yeah, he needs to walk home now after that defeat. 1,200 here, 1,000 there. It's like Condom Wolf did okay. Yeah, the Berserkers did fine, Marauders, but it seems like the Famir were the weak link. I mean, on paper, they're pretty good against the Knights of the Blazing Sun, but I guess in functionality, they kind of had some trouble. Only 415 value on this one. Ouch. I think that's really what cost Norska the game, but because without your mass here, you know, the Knights can pretty much do whatever they want, just run through your army. And yeah, the Famir died really, really early on in that matchup, which is something. Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole idea, Rusty Spurs. Hag Guard, I know, it's perfect. Aerocrastic actually came up with a name for the team. I was going to call it Team Haggard, and then he was like, how about Hag Guard, like a Dark Elf city or something? Yeah, it was really funny. All right, so that is game 1 here in this series. Let's go ahead and update the scoreboard in this best of 5. And now we'll be jumping on over to a game dose between these two players. So let's go ahead and put up the blocker to keep the replays from being spoiled, and we'll go from there. Yeah, it's hard to see the shots in the snow, for sure. Snow maps are a little bit tough in terms of visibility, so... In game 2, it's actually going to be Malverde on Lizardmen, and Kotzum is going to be playing Norska this time, so this should be fun. In terms of the meta in this matchup, I guess solar engines are pretty popular. Yeah, Famir can defend okay if you keep a very tight formation. But yeah, if your army's more spread out, the Famir can't be everywhere the Knights can. Knights are much faster than those bad boys, so... It's contemporary art. That's what I'm talking about, Emil. Hell yeah, dude. Hell to the yeah. Yeah, you know, I guess they have 15% magic resist. I wouldn't agree that it makes Famir bad against them, but it certainly helps quite a bit. So let's go ahead and switch on over. Yes, we are. Here we go. Let's party. Let's do it to it. And now, my friends, we have a showdown between Kotzum, who is in the lead 1-0. He's going to be on Norska, facing off against the Lizards, who are going to be led by Malverde. Should be fun. So let's go ahead and see if Norska can get a win here in this series. Let's see. Turin, what do you think about the only woman to have supped from the Grail being married to a knight named... I'm not sure what you're referring to. Is that something? Are you making a Lord of the Rings reference? Could perhaps be missing it, my friend. Let me know. Yeah, I know. The Haggard video was fun. Lady Turin worked on most of that. So all the effects you guys saw in that video where like the faces were added to the characters, that was Lady Turin. I just kind of spliced them together, but she did a great job. She actually like learned the basics of After Effects in like one afternoon. You know, Free Company Militia, I usually don't use them, but that was a pretty good showcase of them. Certainly, at the very least, it got me thinking about using Free Company Militia. Yeah, I really like that, man. All right, so for the Norskan hordes, it's going to be Marauders and some Berserkers backed up by Javelins. Some Famir as well with great weapons, and we do also have Skin Wolves, more Ice Wolves on the flanks, and Marauders, and then more Norskan Ice Wolves up in the tree line, which are going to be potentially intercepted here by the Pterodon Riders, or at least discovered, I should say. And a very classic build for the Lizards. I mean, there are so many matchups in which this is kind of the meta. Either Saurus Spears or Saurus Spears and Temple Guard defending Bastiladons with solar engines, which, you know, can blast Skin Wolves. They can blast the infantry pretty well. We do have a Slan Mage Priest of Light, which is going to be casting Baroness Time Warp on this very elite core of Temple Guard units, which I think is quite cool. Yes, yes, I just got this game. What are some titles for multiplayer? Tiles? If you just got the game, definitely join our multiplayer Discord. If we have anyone in here who can drop a link to that, that'd be greatly appreciated. But that is a great place to start. Much easier than playing on ladder. No, these are actually replays from my Swiss League, so there's a lot of replays to go through. So typically doing live streams is a better and more efficient way to kind of get through them, and also share the experience with you guys live, which is how I like to do things. So solar engines are shooting in, ripping some fat shots into the Marauder Hunter Javelins here on the low ground, which are now, of course, going to be advancing in. There is Plague of Rust. Plague of Rust on the Metal Sorcerer is very common, because basically you get the Javelins, you Plague of Rust like a Temple Guard or a Bastiladon, and you're going to be able to get it much easier. Now on the flank here, you can see Kotzum does get a very good engagement. The poor Chameleon Skinks are overrun by a mass of angry Doggos of Norska. And it looks like there's going to be a banishment going. Okay, that banishment actually did pretty good. Almost makes the trade worth it. It does tear through some of those Norskan Warhounds, but ultimately in the end, the Doggos are going to be claiming victory and feasting on the souls of those Chameleons. Now here, something I would probably recommend is maybe keeping the Spears a little bit more defensive, a little bit of a tighter formation, rather than pushing forward to kind of meet Norska here. In the front line, you can see the Plague of Rust or Transmutation of Lead is down to these Temple Guard, making them very weak at only 7 melee attack, and that is allowing the Berserkers to really cut through them very efficiently, because obviously they're not able to fight back too well. Faud's Protection is down though, and oh, Seafang coming in from Horserick, so it is Horserick this time. He is going to be on horseback, but that Seafang certainly doing quite a bit of damage against those Temple Guard, but despite, you know, taking a huge beating early, those Temple Guard are holding quite well. Over here, Saurus Spears are losing their fight pretty handedly to the Marauder Champions. Yeah, these are no mere Marauders. These are Marauder Champions. And brutal, brutal Javelin fire coming in as the Marauder Hunter Javelins able to unleash a hellish salvo here on these Solar Engines, which probably should be a little bit more deep set in the formation so they can't get kind of peppered by these guys, because currently it looks like Norska is in a relatively commanding position. So here in the front, we got Temple Guard with Baroness Time Warp. This is probably one of the engagements that is going quite well for the Lizards. Obviously having these jacked units and being able to protect the Bastiladon, but yeah, it's hard. I mean, The only engagements the Lizards are really doing well in is this center one, and I guess the Saurus Spears defeating some basic Marauders is nice, but this whole flank engagement is more or less a disaster. As that Marauder is taken out, the Temple Guard are pretty much massacred here, and these Saurus Spears on the flank, it's probably only a matter of time before they pay the Troll Toll. Look at that, a big Searing Doom going down. That actually did some thick damage on top of the Temple Guard, which are super sauced right now. Aura Pretzel plus the Foz protection, giving him a total of 60 armor and 48 melee defense. That's a pretty serious layering of buffs. Yes, my channel name, Turin, it's actually my middle name in real life. So I was very unimaginative when I made the channel. Come on, brain, you can do it. It's not that early. Man, my sleep schedule has been so freaking bad lately, though. God, I just this is like the first time I've gotten up early on today, so maybe that's what it is. Anyways, here, Bastillid on the back being hunted down by some Fimir great weapons. It looks like the Lizards are slowly starting to buckle, which is going to be putting Kotzum potentially up to a quick 2-0 lead here in this best of 5. Marauder Hunter Javelins throwing downtown against the Slann Mage Priest. It's a big thick toad. He's certainly proud, but you know, he's not happy about Javelins. With only 45 armor, he does have some innate missile resistance. Not going to help too much, as Horserick is now going to go after him. Horserick the Wanderer. And yeah, 490 weapon strength, 70 melee attack against 32 melee defense and 45 armor. That is a recipe for success, my friend. So let's see if Wulfric can get in there and really do some serious damage. Now, is there any way for Lizards to come back in this game? They have a very sparse force of Temple Guard, which are quite beleaguered and beaten up at this point. Wulfric over here is trying to get in there, but the Slann does have their natural protectors, the Temple Guard as well as the Saurus Spears. So it could be a decent opportunity to maybe take out Wulfric, who you can see is actually kind of getting worked on a little bit. He's lost quite a bit of HP here in this engagement. However, Fimir coming in from the flank here will be quite helpful, and another Searing Doom appears to be coming down from the Metal Sorcerer of Norska. Yeah, that's a nice one right there. Look at that, bombarding onto the Saurus Spears as well as the Slann Mage. There you go, buddy. Slann Mage, Priest of Light, running for the hills. He's shaken and most certainly stirred. And we will see what's happening here, as Norska does have rallying forces coming back. Skinwolves, Norskin Wolves chasing down what appears to be a rallying Bastillidon, which is going to break most certainly. And I think that's going to be another victory for Kotzum. So he's up 2-0 here in this series. Certainly some very convincing games. Under 5-minute victory, certainly quite nice. And now we'll be jumping on over to the next match and do it to it. Yes, turn the Oaken Shield, yeah. I'll take it, man. I'll take it. The King of the Lonely Mountain. Oh, man. I love that. I was so hyped for the Hobbit movies. You know, when they were coming out with that. Remember the initial trailer for the Hobbit movies where they had the Far Over the Misty Mountains bit, the song? Oh, my God. I was so goddamn hyped for those movies when I saw that. And, you know, I have to say, initially, I obviously was pretty disappointed by most of the Hobbit movies compared to Lord of the Rings. But, like, as time passed, I kind of, like, became fond of them in a way. It was weird. Like, just like how, you know how, like, everyone hated on the Star Wars prequels when they came out? Like, but then, like, over the course of, like, 5 or 10 years, you're kind of like, oh, it wasn't as bad as I thought. And then the final icing on the cake was when they came out with the new Star Wars movies. And just those were such shit that, like, I was like, okay, I'll take The Hobbit any day of the week over the new Star Wars movies. So anyways, just kind of a little short rant there, a little line of thinking. But yeah, Wulfric did fine. Javelins were probably huge. Yeah, 900, 500, and 1400 there. Fimir did okay. And obviously the Norscan infantry performed quite well. I really like the Plague of Rust in that matchup. Seems really, really strong. And for Malverde, I mean, I certainly like the style of play. But getting the Skinks caught in the back line and, yeah, getting your Bastillidons taken out so quick, like, you really need to prolong that game. Maybe deploy a little bit further back, you know? Hard to say. I'm not a very good Lizardman player. By far one of my weakest factions. So something I gotta improve on. All right. Yeah, you know, I enjoyed, you know, I rewatched the Hobbit movies recently. And I was like, you know what? I enjoyed this. And let's get the scoreboard updated and go to 2 here. It's going to be Kotzum up 2-0. So if he wins this next one, the series is indeed over. And we'll be moving on to our next best of 5. But if Malverde can strike back, we'll get another match going, which should be good. Yeah, buddy, we're going hard, baby. Yeah, the Star Wars prequels are very good. Yeah, I know. I'll take the Star Wars prequels all day over the freaking the new trilogy. It's so god-awful. Oh. Lizardman kiting is pretty uncommon, although it can be very strong. It's a hard style of play. You know who's really good at it is Hyale Nale. He's like probably one of the first players. I don't know if he's been playing much lately. I think he's taking a break from the game, but I'm sure he'll be back. But he's really good at that, and it can be really, really annoying to like chase a ton of skinks and then like salamanders running around and everything. It's pretty wild. Do you think they'll ever make Celestra a figurine? No, I don't think so. Because I think Old World is taking place far before Celestra's time. Unless she's like from that time period. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, is that true? Jedi Master Draco? That's funny. Yeah. I enjoyed the prequels. Yeah, I do have Italian. I'm more or less half Italian in terms of my ancestry. Italian and Irish mostly, with a couple other things mixed in there. All right, so the next game, game 3, is going to be Malverde, the Dreadlord of the Beastmen, facing off against Kotzum on the Druki. So Beastmen. Oh, I always love seeing Beastmen games, man. It brings me so much joy. Yeah, you know, of all the new Star Wars movies, Rogue One was one that I probably enjoyed the most. I couldn't stand the trilogy. God, it just like triggered me so bad. I've heard Mandalorian is very good. Lady Turin and I plan on watching that soon. Currently, we're watching Cobra Kai Season 3, which I freaking love, dude. Oh my god, Cobra Kai is such a good show. If you guys haven't seen it, like even if you're not into that thing, like, you know, if you're not into 80s nostalgia and, you know, karate and, you know, kind of that type of, like, you know, drama that comes with all that, like, you know, karate rivalries, dojo rivalry, like, there's something about that show that is just so good. I think it's partially because the episodes are only like 28 or 30 minutes, but it's just like that. The characters are so fun too. If you guys haven't seen Cobra Kai, go check that out. It is so goddamn good. All right, so let's load in. Enough ranting. I need to wake up. Oh, let's go. Kotzum versus Malverde, game 3. And here we have, I believe, Malverde, the Dark Lord of the Beastmen. One of the few players out there who I think considers himself a Beastman main. Going to be facing off against the Druki. We're going to be led by Crone Hellebron. So we have Crone Hellebron against, oh my god, is it going to be Crowfather? Oh yeah, guys, we got Malagor the Dark Omen, baby. Oh, talk dirty. Talk dirty indeed. Yes. Yeah. Gen Z broke off binging. I know. Dude, it's so good. Season 3 is so fun too. And it hasn't gotten like worse as the seasons have gone on. It's gotten even better. Like Cobra Kai Season 3 is like so fun. Anyways, back to business. All right. So guys, if we take a look at the Beastmen army here, it's going to be Ungors backed up by Gore Herds with a couple spears mixed in, double Minotaur with shields, which is certainly pertinent. There are Dark Riders with repeater bows and, you know, Dark Shards and Shades, so having the shields here I think is the right choice. And on top of that, we have the double Gorble mixed in with the Crowfather. Crowfather is going to have Traderkin and Viletide, and that is pretty much it. So certainly loving this build. I'm very, very excited to see the Beastmen in action. Now for the Druki, it's going to be a spear line, so it looks like we have 4 spears backed up by double Witch Elf. And oh my god, it's going to be Crone plus a Death Hag, the dreaded double Hag Chariot. Oh baby. Talk dirty, man. This is good stuff right here. Looks like a Firecaster, Fireball, and Burning Head. Burning Head's really good against Beastmen, especially against like Gore Herds and Centaurs and things like that. And Fireball is decent against like Butchers of Kalkengard for picking off models. In the Forest, we have Doomfire Warlocks backed up by the Slaanesha's Harvesters. And on the far side of the map, it looks like there are going to be some Dark Riders, perhaps looking to, you know, dive into the back of some Raiders or different things like that. So we will see. Oh man, Malagor is so cool. I really hope when the Beastmen get a DLC eventually, Malagor gets a bit of a rework. He needs like some better abilities or some really cool items. Like if something wicked comes this way, wasn't like a shitty leadership buff of -4 near him, like a targeted Doom and Darkness that was free, that would be so badass. Oh my god. Anyways, here on the flanks, we do have the Centaurs being engaged upon by the Doomfire Warlocks, and they'll certainly win that trade. Granted, there are some Minotaurs coming in as well, so if they stay too long fighting those Centaurs, who are afflicted by Soul Blight, the Minotaurs will be able to punch back pretty effectively here, but a Soul Stealer going down as well. But more Beastmen are coming in! Sons of Goros! Alright, this is suddenly going to become a bad situation for the Harvesters and the Doomfire Warlocks. Sons of Goros, the thing is, if you lose a mobile engagement to the Beastmen, you're usually not going to get away. Looks like a Burning Head going down there does roast through not only the Druki, but also against the Ungors, which is a little bit unfortunate. And also the Destroyers of Drakwald were able to dodge that. Crone Hellebron getting dunked on by the Gorbles, though. Oh my god, look at that. So Crone getting absolutely spanked by the double Gorbles. Now she's trying to retreat, but she doesn't have too much space to retreat from. And in the back, a huge bust of Minotaurs and Centaurs are going to be collapsing while a Viletide goes down to blast those Dread Spears. Wow, this looks like it could be a super fast game. And now all the Dark Riders are coming in to reinforce. Crone Hellebron does drop her buff, but there's nothing to buff here. The Gaze of Cain isn't going to be helping the broken Dread Spears. And the other Death Hag here is getting massacred. Holy shit, look at this. So you can see the Hag here must be below 1000 HP, or pretty close to it. Yeah, Gorbles are in there. Crowfather's just running around casting all sorts of witchcraft. And the Dark Riders are now going to be coming in to help, but I think it might be too little too late. Crone Hellebron is on death's bed. The Minotaurs and the Gorbals and just this nasty, nasty tide of beastmen have really run over this Druchii army here. And you can see the Death Hag is broken, -600. I don't know if the beastmen have something to chase that off, but certainly would be a strong play. And what you guys are seeing now, this isn't even beastmen with summons. This is just beastmen just crushing, because there are no summons, falsely inflating the balance of power here. So Gorbals coming for that booty. Going to be chasing down that Death Hag right there. And for the rest of the army, Crone Hellebron is on her way back in. She does have the sword. And the Druchii do kind of have a stabilization pocket. Dread Spears and Dark Riders, but for the most part, there are so many beastmen left. Minotaurs are in perfect health. Centaurs are all over the place. Gorbal has officially shattered that Death Hag, and that is going to be a 2-minute victory for the beastmen. Absolute cow stampede. So Malverde comes back on the scoreboard with an absolute vengeance. Very well played. Hell yeah, man. That was a great game. No, Tihan Noin, unfortunately, Gorbals still do get bumped around the map like ping pong balls. Yeah, so that hasn't been fixed, but they can still be very powerful, obviously. Damn, that was a brutal game. Yeah, pretty good value. 1500, 800. Not bad at all. Bestigors did fine. Minotaurs did fine. I mean, nothing super crazy since the game was so quick, but Crone Hellebron and her hag just got dunked on so hard. And I think that Burning Head was a big part of it. The Burning Head just absolutely destroyed some Witch Elves on top of some Beastmen, but yeah, that was pretty painful for sure. And also the mobile engagement was lost by the Harvesters. They ended up fighting in enemy territory and getting swarmed by Centaurs. Yeah. Beastmen are a faction that can, like, do very well in terms of, like, winning games fast. Yeah. Oh, man, that was fun, man. That was really fun. All right, Malverde's up on the board. 2-1. Kotzum is up in the games total, but Malverde is up on the board. And now, my friends, we have a contested series here on our hands. So let's go ahead and put up the blocker and jump on over to the next game here in just a second. And do it to it. So what'd you guys think about that? You like that one? Oh, I love that meme with the dancing cow that I think Tariff did on his channel. Tariff. Danelle, is Zerkovic good enough for tourneys? I'm not sure. I've never seen Zerkovic participate in a tournament. But I'm sure he's a good player. Like, he makes a lot of guides for multiplayer. I'm sure he plays on his own time with, you know, maybe with his practice partners or something. But I've never seen him enter a tournament. No, I haven't. But I'm sure he's great. Nerf Beastmen. Yeah, Beastmen OP, dude. The dreaded Beastmen. They are here. After this game, in case you guys missed it, I'll show you the trailer we made. So there's a team tournament coming up. It's a 5v5 team tournament. And basically how it works is each round, basically you play another team of 5 players. And there's 3 best of 3s. So 3 of your teammates play that. And then your last 2 teammates, the 2 remaining players, team up for a best of 3 2v2 series. So that pretty much determines the outcome, right? You have the 3 best of 3s and then a best of 3 2v2 series, which is quite a bit of fun. Yeah, Tariff, that meme actually made me laugh pretty hard. That one was really good. So the last matchup here, potentially, is going to be Warriors of Chaos and High Elves. Huh. Interesting. And then the one after that, well, we'll hang tight for that. We'll hang tight. Got to mix things up. I mean, single entities are strong, for sure. A lot of people have problems with them, but they're not like them. If you, like, for some factions they're important, but for some factions you don't really use them even that much. Like, they're not the big deciding factor, you know? Yeah. What lords are you hoping for next? Dude, I want Beastmen to get like a monstrous lord. Like the Beastmen lord options just kind of suck, right? You have like Morker, you have Khazrak. I mean, Morker is fun, but he's really one-dimensional, and like Khazrak just sucks. And then Malagor kind of sucks too, but can be made to work, obviously. But yeah, you know, I don't know. They just need like some lord diversity, man. Just give him like a lord and like a really cool new support hero or something. I don't know. All right. Kotzum, 2-1. No, Benedict, you think it's a spoiler, but you'll find out, man. You think it is. All right, guys. So here we have the High Elves, which are going to be led by Kotzum. So it's going to be a front line of spearmen. We do also have a couple white lines, and here in the back we have what appears to be sisters, archers, and some dragon princes. So certainly has plenty of AP via Star Dragon Imric, and you know, we'll see if the curse of Imric can be broken. Pretty much every game I cast of Imric on the channel, whether it be an Everchosen or replays, he pretty much always loses. So I'm quite curious to see if Kotzum can close out the series with an Imric victory. What is more toxic? Turin, archer spam, or single entity spam? You know, I'm trying to think of like what really is a toxic build, because with banner rules and most tournament rules that are in pretty much every competitive multiplayer circuit and tournament, I don't know what's considered really toxic. Probably boxes are something that are pretty bad. I mean, but I don't know, like boxes don't even, like, against really good players, boxes don't even really work that well, so it's hard to say. All right, so we got the high elves here. You've seen the army, couple white lions, some dragon princes, a big old Imric star dragon, some sisters, and now for Malverde and the Warriors of Chaos, we have Sarthoriel, the Ever Chicken, Marauders, double Chaos Chariot, which I like. Just got to watch out for the princes, but they can certainly kill the infantry. Double Dragon Ogre, one of which is going to be Summoners of Rage. A shit ton of Marauder Horsemen, backed up by Chaos Knights with Lances, dude. Hell yeah. Chaos Knights, one of my favorite units in the game to actually see, but we'll see how they do. Now here, Chaos Chariot's going to be screaming into the front line. A little bit of a mistake. You got to be careful with the Star Dragon nearby. Imric immediately just buttering the bread of these chariots, and I think they're just like going for broke now. They're like, run, flee! The big dread dragon is chasing us. And the other chariots also get shut down by the dragon princes, so very, very good defensive play. Yeah, corner camping, though, is illegal in tournament rules. So pretty much every league or tournament you play in, or if you're playing games in my Discord or other multiplayer Discords, corner camping is going to be pretty much non-existent, right? It's more of a ladder thing. I don't really play ladder much anymore, simply because you run into shit like that, but you can still beat it, but the games aren't fun, right? Ephraim Va, thank you for the donation. Hey, dude, I just wanted to drop by and give you all a fantastic shout-out for the fantastic content you made recently. Hey, thank you, man. Ephraim, really appreciate that donation. Hell yeah, dude. You're an ace as always. All right, guys, so the battle continues to rage on here. The Vuvuzela of the Gods has been dropped, but a really beautiful final transmutation by Malverde. That was a big breadwinner. It hits Imric, it hits the Dragon Princes, it hits the Sisters and the Archers. That was a great cast there, but as far as the balance of power goes, pretty even at this point. Imric is able to get out relatively unscathed. He takes a little bit of damage. Dragon Ogres are helping fight in the front line, and it looks like they have beaten down some of the Reavers, but a big breath attack is a bit of a whiff. It does actually go after the Marauder Horsemen. Maybe a misclick. I think maybe he was trying to go after the Dragon Ogres or something there, because, you know, the Marauder Horsemen aren't going to be a great target. But yeah, so far the High Elves are, you know, doing an okay job in stabilizing their, what's left of their back line. The Sisters haven't been able to get away, but Chaos is really hot on the pursuit here. Sarthoriel, the Ever Chicken, is nearby, and a couple Marauder Horsemen could easily collapse on top of these ladies and potentially take them out. But now we have a good old-fashioned blob fight. The High Elves do have a pretty decent infantry advantage in the sense that it's going to be White Lions against Chaos Marauders. But there's also going to be, you know, Summoners of Rage and Chaos Knights mixing in here. But it looks like the Chaos Knights are stuck in sustained combat, and these are not Chaos Knights with these swords and shields. These are Chaos Knights with lances, which are actually quite crappy in sustained combat. I mean, they still have okay stats, 42, 34, 46, but the sword and board variant is much stronger there. Now, it looks like there's going to be another final transmutation going down. It must have been a misclick of some sort. Yeah, I think he cast it over here instead of, like, right here, which potentially could cost him the game. If the final transmutation had gone on the Mage of Life, for example, it would have hit all these targets, but it looks like maybe it got misclicked or tethered onto the wrong target. And, you know, he may have paid the price for that. It's a little bit hard to say. Here, Summoners of Rage getting in there, battling the Dragon Princes, but they are going to be sandwiched a little bit by Imric on his Vuvuzela Dragon, and the Dragon Princes also coming in for a bit of a thunderous charge. This would also be a very good opportunity for a big final transmutation here, but this could honestly be the deciding factor. I mean, Summoners will do quite well against the Dragon Princes, but Imric is a much more, you know, potent combatant than, you know, Warp Chicken, right? Who is even kind of standing on the wings right now, but now Warp Chicken comes in with his drumstick and is going to be dropping some huge bows here in this situation. Will the curse of Imric be broken? We will find out this day. Will Imric win a battle here in this on this old channel of ours? So Sarthoriel is still fighting the good fight, but for the first time in the game here, Imric does pull a little bit ahead on the balance of power there. You can see it's just ever so slightly. Chaos does have some knights left. They do have some chariots, which could certainly kill a pretty large amount of infantry, but both Dragon Ogres being routed off here is certainly very painful. And, you know, as far as the armies go overall, I mean, it doesn't look too horrible for Chaos, but the problem is that Imric is so much stronger than the Chicken in terms of dueling capacity. Imric could absolutely manhandle this Chicken. It looks like he might be coming in for the kill. He's going to be landing right here, and there goes the Space Jam. Imric, of course, doing fire damage doesn't give him any advantages versus Sarthoriel. And, yeah, that big bird Goose is going to be getting cooked pretty good. Chaos Knights do charge in, and we have a nice little surround here from the Marauder Horsemen. Marauder Horsemen, of course, will be very, very good against Imric if they can just sit and throw their little happy Chaos Axes, some happy accidents here on Imric. That could be nice. And it looks like there's going to be some sort of a vortex going down here. What is that? That's not coming from the chicken, is it? No, that's the chain lightning from the Summoners of Rage who've actually come back. Now, Chariot's still trying to get back into the fight, but Dragon Princes do have good enough mass. And if anyone's new to the game, Chariots are typically countered very heavily by mass, whether it be cavalry or single entities. That is one of the more efficient ways to shut down such pieces. However, Marauder Horseman Throwing Axe is doing a good job kind of picking off some of the princes, but most of the Chaos Army, as it tries to come back here, the Summoners of Rage and the Ogres, are kind of being forced off by Imric. And it looks like the Lord of Dragons is finally potentially going to get a win. We will see. Yeah, Balance of Power is pretty much point of no return here. We will see. Jagatai Khan just saw the 5v5 trailer. When will it be? So I am going to play, my team, or our team, is going to be playing the whole set of matches, right? And then after that's over, I'll get all the replays and I'll do a stream showing you guys everything, the 3 best of 3s. So in our first set of games, let's take a look at this first and then I'll explain it to you. Yeah, Imric though won a game. Kotzum wins the series, and Imric got like 2,700 value, which I guess in a way he pays for himself. I mean, I think that's more or less how much he costs, depending on the itemization you bring. But yeah, 2,700. Dragon Princes must have done pretty good, 1,000, 1,100. Archers kind of got shut down, but Imric and the Dragon Princes really carried that game pretty hard. And for Malverde, it wasn't a bad game. Honestly, though, I find Chaos Knights, I always struggle. I mean, they did pay for themselves, I guess, which is nice, but I always struggle to make them work. Warp Chicken, maybe if he had nailed that final transmutation, like instead of missing the second one, I think that could have changed the game. The Chariot play probably needed to be a little bit more careful too, but ultimately it was a good game. It was close. I mean, the Summoners and the Dragon Ogres did quite well. So how it works for this team tournament is every round we have 3 best of 3s and a best of 3 2v2. So all 5 players are involved. This time around, it's going to be Aerocrastic, Lotus Moon, and Hadries are going to be doing our best of 3s for week 1. And then a King of the Dead and I are the 2v2 team. And then for the second week, I'll be playing, Arrow will be playing, and Hadries will be playing, I think. And then I think Lotus and King are doing the 2v2. I can't quite remember. Yeah. Yeah, Imric did some work, man. I'm proud of him. He deserves it. So, yeah, I'll show you guys the trailer in case you missed it. Yeah, it's pretty absurd. It's pretty absurd. Here it comes. All right, so basically, I just made a hype trailer, which will be playing before the games and everything. And I just thought, mainly Lady Turn and I wanted to learn After Effects. So this is the result. So here you go, guys. I'll show you while I get the next games ready and everything. So here it is. Enjoy, and we'll see you guys in just a second.
Tremble, mortals, and despair. Doom has come to this world.
Featuring Turin. Lotus Moon. King of the Dead. Hadries. And 2-time ever-chosen champion Aerocrastic. And last but certainly not least, Wookiee. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Yeah, you guys like that? I thought it was fun. I mean, of course it's cringy. It's supposed to be cringy. That's the whole point. Yeah. Isn't that funny? Yeah. Yeah, there you go, guys. So that was the little hype trailer for our upcoming tournament we're going to be playing in. So that should be quite a bit of fun. So right now I'm just getting the next set of replays already. So just give me a hot moment and we'll be good to go. So well played to Malverde and to Kotzum there. It was certainly a very fun series. So let me go ahead and make sure I don't cast those games again. Yeah, the Wookiee. I know the Wookiee Beast is pretty scary. So Swiss League games. Delete those so I don't get confused. And next up, we have... I know. I had a great time making that. Lady Turn and I spent all day like trying to learn how to do that in After Effects. Because I'm like very much a peasant when it comes to like technology and like being good at such things. Yeah, it's supposed to be cringy. So we have a donation coming in from Joseph Rocca. Hey, Joseph, thank you, man. It's my brother's name. A fine name indeed. Watching this game makes me want Warhammer 3 Chaos bad. I know. I want it. Give me game 3. Hopefully in time, my friends. Hopefully in good time. Yeah, man, I want game 3 so bad. I dream of it at night. All right, so next we have Iron General facing off. So we saw last week, we saw Iron General face off against Wicked in a very excellent best of 5 series. So it seems that the Iron General is having some really good games here in our Swiss League. So this one is going to be Iron General versus Showtime of Clan DDG. So let's go ahead and get the scoreboard ready, and we'll be all set here in just a second. Showtime versus Iron General. Looks great. Ready? We're going to be loading in here in just a second. Let's get this party started and have some fun, guys. With Wookiee, any stream is a hot dog stream. Exactly. I know. And a Wookiee Gorge gif. I could do that. Yeah, Carrot Shell, you just missed the trailer. It's up on the channel, though. It's the video I posted this morning, so you can go and check that out. Now, this is a matchup I'm very eager to see, because typically greenskins are very heavily favored in this matchup versus Chaos. But I'm really interested to see what kind of witchcraft they do bring to the table here. So if we take a look here at the hordes of the greenskins, a very different build, a ton of Goblin Wolf Rider archers. Look at this. He has like 1, 2, 3 with some Spider Riders mixed in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Going to be 6 of those bad boys in total. That is a pretty serious business. Man, look at that. Kevin McLaughlin, thank you for the donation, man. Of the 25 bucks, that was amazing. Hype is for real, dude. I'm hyped too. I'm really excited. King of the Dead and I were chatting this morning, actually, and we were coming up with a couple of scheming 2v2 builds, which should be fun. All right, so now for the old greenskins, it's going to be a couple Black Orcs mixed with some Goblin Spider Riders, Azag up in the sky, and the Arachnoid Queen. Now, for the Warriors of Chaos, I've kind of experimented with using Hell Cannons and using Chosen and things like that, but let's see here. So we got Marauder Horsemasters for the Iron General. It looks like 4 in total, which should give him a decent trade with some of the Greenskin Skirmishers. His battle line is going to be Chosen with Great Weapons mixed in with Quad Forsaken, Poison Hounds, Weird Spawn, and Warp Chicken with Final Transmutation. Holy shit, Forsaken Rush. No, this is... The Greenskins are partially vanguarded, but it's a very small map. So yeah, there's a Vanguard here, there's a Vanguard here, and then these are more or less the lines upon which you can deploy. I know Mass Skirmish even on Fun Map, we'll see. So the battle's underway here. Forsaken going to be pushing forward. Forsaken will absolutely tear apart those goblins, like massacre. But the one weakness I'm seeing in this Chaos Army is maybe dealing with the Spider. Marauder Hunters can certainly do it, or Horsemasters, excuse me, but they don't have the best AP against the Spider's 120 armor, so... A little bit hard to say, but the Chosen with Great Weapons are going to be piling in. Warp Chicken disrupting the Black Orc formation, and we have a big, messy frontline fight as the Nurgle-afflicted Forsaken are going to be blitzing into the Black Orcs right there. Now, potentially a good Final Transmutation target, and also the Weird Spawn are quite cool here because they do have Armor Sundering, so they'll put the Black Orcs down to 80 armor, which makes the Forsaken a lot more effective. Now, the Greenskins do have a bigger force trying to envelop here, and you can see Chaos is kind of pulling in a little bit tighter, pulling their Forsaken back here, and trying to get a little bit more of a careful engagement. Weird Spawn doing some good work against the Black Orcs, and the Chosen with Great Weapons, to no surprise, have absolutely massacred the Goblins right there. Now, the Spider's going after the Chicken, certainly not a bad idea, anti-large, and can poison that big old KFC bird and slow him down, make him a little bit more manageable. But the Greenskins trying to overload the flank with some Spider Riders and a countercharge coming in from the Poison Hounds. Granted, Spider Riders do typically defeat Chaos Warhounds, or Warhounds in general, with the exception of, I don't know about Wolf Rats. Probably, I'm sure they would defeat Wolf Rats as well, but the poison is really helpful here. Now, looks like Iron General has gotten his Marauder Horsemasters and is trying to mirror the movement of the Arachnoid Queen. Warp Chicken, though, taking quite a pounding. However, something that you normally don't see in this matchup is Chaos performing well in the front line against like Black Orcs and things like that. But the Chosen with Great Weapons have been able to cut through the Black Orcs with the support of the Demon Spew nearby. And now we're getting a charge coming in from the Marauder Horsemasters, actually charging into these Forest Goblin Spider Riders and then pulling back. Certainly got to be careful, but the Chosen are still alive. Forsaken on the flanks are still causing a fair amount of disruption, and these other Forsaken have also started to chase into the backfield, which is quite funny, but there's still a full health unit of Black Orcs somewhere, I can swear it. Yes, there are some Black Orcs here on the far side, which he's got to be careful. If Showtime accidentally chases with the Black Orcs off the battlefield and runs over here, that could give Chaos the time it needs to isolate a big target like this. And here you can see the Arachnoid Queen is going to be getting armor sundered, hunted by all the Horsemasters, which, despite, not having great AP, their base missile strength still is 37, and they don't have the worst AP values in terms of like missile units and things like that. So Arachnaut Queen, gonna be getting pushed off. Oh, I gotta fix. Hold on, I gotta fix the Iron General's name. I can't do him dirty like that. Oh, I'm so sorry, Iron General. If you're watching, forgive me. Your name will be fixed. Yes, there it is. Perfect. All right, all is good in the realm once more. Some Marauder Horsemasters chasing down that big old spider, and the balance of power is actually coming into the favor of Chaos a little bit. Azag is still something, but I think that the Greenskins really need to make a huge effort to save that Arachnaut Queen and maybe deal with this Marauder Horsemaster core, which seems to be doing some huge work. Now, normally in most tournaments, in my experience, I've seen Chaos players almost always ban Greenskins, but in this case, it seems like the Iron Generals maybe a little bit more practice in this matchup. Maybe he's used to it. Now we, of course, have the Chosen with great weapons, which do defeat Black Orcs head on. They're going to be marching in with their big old great weapons, backed up by the Weird Spawn, of course, Sundering to Armor. And these Black Orcs are going to be having a really, really bad time here. So you can see those guys should be able to karate chop a fair amount of those Black Orcs. Hey, how's it going? It's Italian Spartacus in chat. So apparently, he's been pestering me all day and night about doing another hot dog stream. So let us know what you think. Sparty, thank you for the $4 donation, man. But yeah, you know, I just can't get rid of him, man. Getting calls at like 3 a.m. Spartacus just looking for more of them hot dog streams, and I don't know what to do about it. I guess I'll just have to have another one. And it was here, Marauder Horsemasters still drifting about, going after Azag, who's now afflicted by the Plague of Rust. Currently, Greenskins are pretty far behind in the balance of power, as the Black Orcs do get just absolutely canned by these, oh my god, triple gold Chevron Chosen. Look at the stats. 59, 57. Oh, that is insane. So those Chosen are no joke. Really like that with the Forsaken front line. Pretty badass build here by the Iron General. Now over here, Big Bird's going to be jumping over, going after the Goblin Wolf Riders, and here you can see the Forest Goblin Spider Riders are, yeah, they're going to be trying to push in there and maybe disrupt this force a little bit, but it's looking pretty grim for the Greenskins. They don't really have a backbone upon which to stand. I mean, they have some skirmish cav. They have Azag, who of course is no slouch in combat. Maybe if Azag can take out the chicken. The chicken is getting very, very low, 569 right here, so maybe a Spirit Leech and a charge could do the trick. Azag gets in there. Does he connect with the attack? It looks like he just does connect. 73 HP on the bird, but the bird is able to turn around and finish off Azag with army losses. And that is going to be game one, going to the Iron General in this best of 5 with a relative upset in terms of the matchup. But perhaps we learned something new. These Gold Chevron Chosen, no joke, man. So the Swiss League is currently closed for now. We had a sign-up period that ended a little while ago, but it is going to be going on again soon. So probably end of January, beginning of February, there's going to be a second round starting, which you can sign up for. So just make sure you're in my Discord, and then from there we can do it. Yeah, Sparty's excited for another hot dog stream. Is that what I'm reading in chat? All right, let's take a look here. So yeah, Big Bird did fine. Forsaken, how'd they do? I mean, most of them did all right. Yeah, pretty decent value there. But the Chosen, 1,500. Marauder Horsemasters did great work. 1,900, 1,000, solid value, as well as from the Weird Spawn. Pretty cool combo, like Forsaken Weird Spawn for the Armor Sundering against Black Orcs. Yeah, the Black Orcs kind of got shut down, but the biggest thing was the Spider getting dunked on. Yeah, you can see this thing really, really didn't do too hot. We need to add hot sauce into the mix, so the person who is dead last is punished. Yeah, you know, Sparty, I agree. And I think the hot sauce is nice because it kind of is like, you don't like suffer as much in the same way. Like eating the hot dogs like by themselves is kind of rough because it's like you're suffering because you're full. Whereas the spiciness, like you're not going to be full. It's just the spice. So it's like a little bit more pleasant afterwards, at least in my opinion. Yeah. Mess with the bird and you get the drumstick. Dude, no kidding, dude. We should do wings with various hot sauces. So yeah, basically you're saying doing like a hot ones, Gojira. I'm so down. I'm down. I'm terrible with spicy food. I would handle it the worst of all of you guys. I'm so bad with spicy food. All right, so Iron General is up 1-0 here in this series. Well played. We're going to be jumping on over to game 2 here in just a hot second. Total War hot ones. Turin, the best recommendation, McDouble challenge. Shall we eat McDouble if we lose? Oh man, a McDonald's burger? Oh god, that's brutal, bro. I haven't had McDonald's since I was like, I'm 15. That was like 17 years ago, dude. I haven't had McDonald's in, 17 years. The most recent fast food I ate was probably Taco Bell, and that was like Subway doesn't count in my opinion, but Italian Spartacus says he was born in the dollar menu, raised by it. You merely adopted it on a budget. Oh, man. Or we have to do Denny's, like the Super Slam at Denny's. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, guys, how about for a challenge stream, we do the McDonald's Double Mac or Double Burger with hot sauce on it. Ultimate punishment, bro. Yeah. Ultimate punishment. Ajay in chat says, had a bottle of scorpion sauce and had to sit on the front of the toilet for like 12 hours. God. Now you're making me nervous about the spicy stuff. Alright, well, we'll see how this goes. A lot of counter matchups here. Or tricky matchups. That's pretty good. Some delicious water right there. What's up, Loopy? How you doing, man? What is cracking? McDonald's has changed the quality of their food. Sparty and I will scheme some sort of other stream. And maybe we'll even do an epic intro for it. You know? Yeah. We're going to need a montage all day, dude. All right, loading into the next match here. It's going to be Showtime on the Wood Elves facing off against the Lizards, who are going to be led by Iron General, who's currently up. Now, it seems like this time Iron General got the good kind of counterpick of sorts. Because I would say for Wood Elves, like, Lizardmen isn't really a fun matchup. It's winnable for sure, but it's a matchup that I've kind of struggled with. Typically, what Lizard players do is they spam a million Chameleon Skinks, Sara Spears backed up by Solar Engines, and it's really a pain in the ass to deal with. A Carolina Reaper Pepper, oh boy. That sounds brutal. Sounds brutal. Well, we will see. We will see indeed. So here comes the Wood Elf Legion, led by Dryka. A couple Wildwood Rangers, a very risky pick. They can beat the Lizard Saurus, Spears, and things like that, but very vulnerable against Skinkfire. In the back, we also have a bunch of Glade Guard, a couple Starfire Shafts, and Hagbane Tips mixed in. And just like, you know, normal for the Lizard army, it's going to be Lord Mazda with Nets, a ton of Spears and Skinks with double Solar Engines. So very, very meta build here from the Lizardmen. Now here, Showtime's going to be advancing, and the Solar Engines are now blasting into the poor archers here in the back. It looks like 7 of those Glade Guard are instantly eviscerated here in this battle as they march proudly towards the enemy force. And the flank Wild Riders with shields are going to be coming around the side, getting ready to collapse. That could be the big variable that the Wood Elves need to get in this game. You really need to shut down the Chameleon Skinks. And also a little bit of a misplay here from the Lizards. If they leave that Solar Engine there too long and let it take too much focus fire, yeah, and the Chameleon Skinks need to be poking those Wildwood Rangers. Like, just, they could be getting so much damage right now. It's a little bit of a misplay here from the triple Skink core, which could be, again, getting huge value. On the other side, it's a little bit better. The Skinks are kiting backwards and at least poking the lightly armored infantry, and you can see the Wildwood Rangers are starting to take some damage. But so far, I would say this is actually going pretty good for the Wood Elves. Normally, at this point in the game, the Wood Elves would have taken a lot more damage. But now comes a bit of a flank play. You can see here the Wild Riders and the Glade Riders in the back are kind of circling like vultures around their prey. Or their remains, I should say. And Mazdamundi is able to drop a net, so he nets down the Wild Riders, which are now being blasted by Skinks and also kind of poked by this Solar Engine right here. Nice play, though, by Showtime, sending in the Glade Riders with Spears to shut down the Chameleon Skinks. And oh, it looks like Mazdamundi is going to be going for a banishment here. A little bit hard to tell. Let's see. Nice banishment, I suppose. Kind of goes the wrong way. No, but at the end of the day, oh man, the Solar Engines are blasting those Riders off. And here in the back, you can see the Skinks are getting relatively secure. They have been able to kind of pull back. Some of the Sara Spears haven't been committed here, but look how badly these Sara Spears lose to the Wildwood Rangers. And that's why you really need to focus down those Wildwood Rangers with the Skinks before they get to your front line. One Solar Engine's pulling back, but now we have more Wild Riders with shields appearing out of the forest. Going to be hammering into those Skinks pretty well, and you can see the Skinks take some pretty heavy damage. I always feel like Chameleon Skinks last much longer than they should, but I guess it's partially due to their poison mitigating the output of their opponent's damage. But I would say Showtime's in a pretty commanding position. I mean, the Saurus front line is buckling. There's been very little damage against the Wildwood Rangers. The archers for the Wood Elves are all intact, more or less. And there's a ton of backline disruption coming in from the Wood Elves here from Showtime. He's really been able to shut down the Skinks. And, you know, from here, these Wild Riders can simply chase them off the battlefield and pull back and chase off that Solar Engine. The Glade Riders are going to come back. And the archers are pressing freely into this Bastillodon. And there's no way this bad boy is going to be coming back here. This is a matchup I played quite a bit, though. I practiced a little bit against Falcon when the Wood Elves first came out, and in my experience, it can be won by Wood Elves, but I found it was pretty good for Lizards. But in this case, you know, really, really good play from Showtime has led to a pretty solid lead here in this position, as it looks like the Iron General is being forced back to the corner of the map and is running out of space to work with. The Chameleon Skinks, of course, being hunted down by Dryka here, and the Wildwood Rangers should be able to make pretty quick work of these Sara Spears as they do flank to support their Eternal Guard. Yeah, these poor dinosaurs. Going back to Jurassic Park, that is for sure. Not quite close to army losses yet. Draika does summon another Malevolent Dryad. A very, very good usage here. Pretty cool to see Draika. In this matchup, I think you usually see the Sisters of Twilight, or maybe Orion, but Draika's certainly not bad. She can really help you put pressure on your opponents here with the old summons. And I would imagine she does have Pendulum as well, which is good against Temple Guard and Saurus and things like that. So the Archer line continues to advance. 5 Wood Elf Archers are online here, raining fire into the Bastillodon. Wood Elf Cavalry advancing, Draika's advancing. It looks like that's going to be army losses pretty soon here, as Iron General really is running out of space to kite here, and Lord Mazdamundi is being forced back to the edge of the map, and, you know, it's very convenient for him. He'll be able to route right off that edge of the battlefield, and it should not be any drama for him. Is that Solar Engine, despite the cold blood, is going to be breaking. Nice little attempt there to keep that bad boy fighting, but it's not going to be enough. He's really, really heavily damaged. And the Chameleon Skinks getting Last Samurai as they do try and charge those Glade Guard. Full health unit of Wildwood Rangers. At this point, more or less a foregone conclusion. A couple seconds away from army losses here as the Chameleons kind of get worn down. So, well played there. GG. That is going to be tying up the series. Showtime is on the board. A solid game. Very cool build. I mean, the Wildwood Rangers, pretty vulnerable, but I mean, if they can close the distance, they'll really dominate Saurus Spears. And this is like a super meta build by Iron General. I think the only thing is maybe not the Skink Chiefs, and just getting like some cohorts and additional chaff. But in general, this is extremely meta. Like, this is very, very normal for this matchup. Yeah, Draika's really cheap too. One of the reasons why she's so good is she just fits so well into so many builds and lets you go wide. All right. I would say that's not a fun matchup for the Wood Elves, but Showtime definitely performed very well. My build is very, very different. I use triple Waywatcher and then a bunch of Eternal Guard and Dryads and just kind of push up, but that worked just fine. The Wild Riders were also really solid. They were able to flank and not get a ton of value, but really caused a ton of disruption and made the Skinks, you know, kind of not be terribly efficient. Make Italian Spartacus eat a Carolina Ghost Pepper? Oh, well, I wouldn't make him do it by himself. If he were to take on such an endeavor, I would do it as well. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. That's game 2. And now, my friends, we'll jump on over to game 3 between Showtime and the Iron General. Intro graphic to cover things up. You guys all doing, by the way? Life treating you guys all right? Sure hope so. Game 3 is going to be Showtime on Norska versus Iron General on the Empire. Always a fun matchup. Sons of Sigmar facing off against the Norskins. One of my favorites, hands down. Yeah, I don't know if I feel like spending all day on the toilet. The spicy challenge, yeah, it's something I didn't really think about. I would really suffer too. I'd be like coughing and like watering at the eyes. I can't remember the last time I ate anything spicy. Like, I just don't eat spicy food ever. I had a friend when I was in college. His name was Lingjing, and he was from China. And man, oh man, he could eat some spicy food. He used to like say like nothing, like there was nothing that could like, you know, be too spicy for him. I remember my friend Paul and I were kind of like discussing getting him like some really gnarly like ghost pepper type thing to see if he could handle it. But that guy could eat some spicy food, dude. Oh man. Yeah, well, glad you're enjoying. Hey Jake, you're welcome, man. Thanks for joining on the stream. I think Showtime's build archetype is a bit more meta now than triple Waywatcher. Yeah, Doctor, my build is triple Waywatcher, front line of Eternal Guard and Dryads like super wide to absorb the Skink Fire, and then I try and snipe the Bastillodons with the Waywatchers. But yeah, I mean, I see how that build can be effective for sure. All right, let's load in. Let's do it to it. 1-1 here, baby. Let's go. Let us go. So for the Norscan army here, it's going to be a front line of Marauders and Marauders and Marauders, which is very, very standard here. A couple of Marauder Horsemen on the flank here. We got Wulfric here for Showtime, and he does also have a Shaman Sorcerer of Death and a couple of Famir with great weapons to fight the heavy cavalry. And on the far side of the formation, going to be coming in with triple Marauder Horsemen with some throwing axes, it would appear, and some regular variants. Now for the Empire build, pretty meta. Double Knight of the Blazing Sun is very, very standard in this matchup. And Sigmar Sons and Flagellants in the front line. You want an unbreakable front line against Norsca, in my opinion. But really, the one thing that changes is people either bring handgunners or they either bring, huntsmen. That's really the one thing that tends to change. But for the most part, this build, it's actually triple Knight of the Blazing Sun. Yeah, very, very solid. They're so good against Norsca. So good. So good indeed. It's good hanging out with you too, man. Hopefully you're enjoying the stream. So the battle is raging. The Huntsmen will now start shooting. And I suppose on this map, Huntsmen are probably the better choice. This map is like super terrain heavy. It has all sorts of like weird bumps and hills. And handgunners could probably run into some serious obstruction issues. One of the reasons why I have such a hard on for handgunners though is because of their direct arc of fire. Like, Juking is probably one of my biggest pet peeves of like when somebody jukes my missiles really well and I just never hit. I'm like, ah, curse you. It like, you know, it's tough to deal with. So when I have handgunners, I find that happens much less often. They don't have nearly as much time to react, and typically they just get in there and do the damage. But yeah, Marauder Horseman spam is pretty common for sure. So Sigmar Sun's going to be engaging against basic Marauders. They of course would win that fight head to head very handedly. But with the Famir pushing in, Huntsmen will do some damage with their bonus force large, but compared to like a handgunner line, they might not do as much. Knights of the Blazing Sun probably going to charge in to help out there in that situation, which certainly is not a bad idea. Knights charging on both sides, and Karl Franz has engaged here, going after the Famir, also getting a terror out on the Marauders, isolating the Famir warriors. That's actually a really, really good trade for the Empire here. Now it looks like a Sea Fang went down, did a little bit of damage against those flagellants, not too much though, and Wulfric is able to bunker bust this line. Brutal bunker bust here by Norska. You can see Wulfric is able to push back the Knights of the Blazing Sun, and the Sigmar Suns are getting massacred by the Mammoth, but still holding valiantly. You know, that's what Sigmar Suns are all about. They're going to lose fights, but they're going to hold like absolute champions. Now, Beasts of Tashnar coming into the flank. Knights of the Blazing Sun do get the counter charge at the last second. They might still be able to win that. Their armor and the charge bonus, of course, assuming they got it, probably will allow the Beasts of Tashnar to lose there. So very good response there by the Empire. So Norska basically takes this side, and the Empire takes this side right here. Both players kind of pushing back, you know, wherever their leadership is. So Franz push back here, and Wulfric push back here. But now the time is on to see if the Huntsmen are going to be able to do enough damage to bring down the big monsters. The Flagellants are still going. I think getting Franz in here and maybe going after Wulfric wouldn't be a bad idea. Franz does have Gal Maraz and Runefang, so he could do some really good trading here with Wulfric, but I'm not quite sure. Maybe he'll come back here and try and stabilize his Huntsmen, but the longer those poor Flagellants fight in the front line unprotected, the more that Mammoth is going to be getting tusk deep in those guys. So we will see. Why are crossbows not really meta over Huntsmen? Well, Huntsmen are just a little bit better. Loose formation, anti-large. They just, you know, and honestly, they're not terribly ineffective against, you know, they're decent against the same things crossbows are good against. So I just prefer Huntsmen myself. Knights of the Blazing Sun coming to liberate their back line here. You can see a thunderous Sigmarite charge just hammering into those poor Marauders. Those guys get absolutely buttered up there, and that's really big. You can see like the Empire's doing a great job of killing the Norscan mobility. So Hounds are being chased down, Marauder Horsemen are being charged by these cavalry, and 2 Huntsman units are now back in business, shooting into lightly armored infantry and soon to be against Wulfric. But this is a very, very close game. Norska still has a couple of Famir that are in relatively decent shape for this point in the game. And you can see here, Wulfric the Wanderer is still going to be a huge menace. Granted, in a straight duel, you know, Franz will do well. It depends if Hunter of Champions is active. That's really the big variable there. Also, Gal Maraz activations and things like that can really dictate that engagement. Now, the Famir warriors are clubbing the last of these poor naked Sigmarites. These shirtless fanatics are being taken to Pound Town pretty bad, or Pound Land, as they say in the UK. You can see some big blows, and yeah, there they go. 6 Flagellants left. As far as the infantry corps of the Empire goes, yeah, nice play here by the Norskans, shutting down this Huntsman unit using their Marauder Horsemen. That's a big mistake I see a lot of newer players do when they're using Marauder Horsemen. They just use them as a range tool, but don't be afraid to send those bad boys into combat. They're not terrible, a really good backline disruption tool. It's one of the reasons why they're so meta. It's like getting a Hound unit and a skirmish cab all in one. Right here, Wulfric, though, he's getting down and dirty, man, fighting against Franz, who's afflicted by Spirit Leech and Hunter of Champions, but also is being buffed by Earthblood and Stand Your Ground, and it looks like Wulfric's taking a little bit of damage. He is supported by the Knights of the Blazing Sun, which are getting some good damage here, and really this could be the deciding factor in the game, depending on the leadership fight. Pretty nice having 59 Huntsmen here. Quite curious about their damage output this game to see how those guys did perform. And here it comes. Karl Franz getting in there. Reichland, Runefang, Gal Maraz just going deep into these Norskans. And you can see the Shaman Sorcerer of Death probably going to be getting more or less 3 or 4 shotted if he doesn't leave. And yeah, he's finally going to be taking the cue and exiting out of that battle right there. Here we have all the Marauder Horsemen circling about, trying to finish off the Empire mobility now. So the Knights of the Blazing Sun being kited a little bit, getting very low. And Franz is getting afflicted by a Spirit Leech pretty heavily. Oh, but nice charge right there. Man, oh man! That Shaman Sorcerer gets gooned by the Franz. Franz sounds like some 80s character or something pretty cool. He's going to be pulling back. Definitely does not want to fight Wulfric right now. He's very low. 1,500 HP against 3,700. I don't know if there's any regrowths available, but an overcasted regrowth I think is exactly what the Empire probably needs right now. Really nice play here by Norska again, shutting down the Huntsman. Huge, huge play. However, the Empire might be able to get some value back right here. You can see the Knights of the Blazing Sun going to be countercharging into the Norscan horde, but the Norskans able to react pretty well and get away after having gotten most of their value and more or less breaking these Huntsmen. Franz trying to save his back line, but at this point, I don't know if he's going to be able to. And he's got to be careful. Franz, if he overchases here, could actually be focused down by all the throwing axes and basic javelins from these Marauder Hunters. Only 1400 HP. Could be a bit of a problem. Knights of the Blazing Sun, 1200 HP on these guys. Empire still does have a decent fighting core of men. And Spearmen, Flagellants. Yeah, you know, Norska doesn't really have any infantry left. Franz, if Franz could just goon things and chase things off the battlefield and kind of kite Wulfric here. Nice level Seafang right there. Right through those archers, actually. Knights of the Blazing Sun, another charge. Brutal one. Going to be hammering right into those Marauder Horsemen. Killing a couple models on impacts, but Big Chungus is nearby. And Wulfric is not going to be taking this shit. Oh, yeah, he gets in there and does some nice work. There you go, little buddy. We'll see how it goes. 157 kills on him. He's certainly taken his toll for the Dark Gods. Currently, Showtime in a little bit of a leading position as the Franz is in trouble up here in the sky. Spirit Leech going down once again. Wearing him down, but it looks like there is a response of an Earthblood, not a regrowth. And yeah, Franz is going for one last hoorah here. Going to be using no big cooldowns except, oh, there it is. Galmaraz is active. So, I mean, if Franz could get really lucky here and outtrade Wulfric, that would be certainly a way for the Empire to get back in this game. 2200 HP. I mean, Franz is getting in there. He's doing a lot of damage, man. 1600 on Wulfric. Galmaraz really allowing him to fight back, but a good smart play here by Showtime. Pulling in all the Marauder Horsemen, surrounding Karl Franz, keeping him off Wulfric. And now that probably is going to spell doom for the Empire. I mean, they do have a fair amount of spearmen coming in, I guess, but that's nothing that a Mammoth isn't going to be able to bully super hard. And yeah, you can see these Marauders here on the low ground. Not in the best of shape either. And yeah, it's pretty much Franz is down. Famir with great weapons got him. And the Jade Wizard is going to be getting taken out in a matter of seconds, which will probably trigger a cascading army loss. There you go. Army loss is kicking in. GG, well played. A solid game between Showtime and the Iron General, but Showtime is going to be going up 2-1. Kiss Pamkum. Thank you for the $2, man. Nice hanging out with you, dude. Have a great year. Hey, you too, man. Hope 2021 treats you better than 2020 treated all of us. That is going to be army losses for the Sons of Sigmar. There you have it. GG, well played. Karl tried. He tried his best, man. He did it to it. But that one is going to be a victory. See, that's the thing. Like, I feel like handgunners would have done so much more. Granted, they did well, I guess. 1400, and yeah, I mean, they got their damage in. I guess you just don't notice it as much because it's not as bursty. Triple Knights of the Blazing Sun is always great. Yeah, solid stuff. Franz did fine too. It's a good build by Showtime. I definitely dig it. He was able to put some work in there, man. A good, proper scrap. Well played to those two fine gentlemen. And now we can go ahead and update the scorecard to show Showtime being up 2-1 as we jump on over to Game 4. Let's do it to it. One of the coolest multiplayer things is watching the difference in meta between geographical bubbles. Yeah, it's quite fun for sure. I don't know where Showtime is from. I know Iron General is Russian, if I'm not mistaken. He's in Clan VM, so he must be from that part of the world. Yeah, the Huntsman didn't do bad. Value, you know, 1400, 900, pretty damn good, actually. I don't know why. I just never, like, feel it. You don't feel the powder like you do with handgunners. Wulfric did great, 2900. The Famir did good, too, 800 apiece. Throwing axes, awesome as always, 1000, 900. This is why you see horsemen spam. They just generally are so annoying and so effective, especially against Empire. Like, throwing axes are great against heavy cavalry. They can just get you so much value. Wulfric has a shit ton of HP, yeah. A ton of HP, man. He is a meaty boy. Oh, yeah, you guys... Hang on, let me switch back here and just show you. So, yeah. I always forget to show the value before I switch over, so we'll just mouse over it real quick so you can see. Wulfric there, 1700 on the Deathcaster. Horseman did okay across the board. Yeah, not bad. Franz did cool, 15. 700, 900, and then we had 900 and 1400 for those units. Sigmar Sons and infantry obviously don't do too crazy. Showtime Spanish? Okay. Yeah. Or he's Spanish speaking. Okay. Very cool. So now, my friends, it's a 2-1. In this best of 5, we're going to be going on over to Game 4. So let's load in and have some fun. Again, guys, thank you so much for joining today. It's been a fun stream so far. We'll, of course, after this series, we'll have another best of 5, and then from there, we'll close out maybe with an FFA game or some memes or something like that. So, let's do it. Let's do it to it. Game 4 is on. So this one is going to be more Beastmen, guys. All right. Talk dirty. Who's hyped for the Beastmen? The neglected, adopted Beastmen here. They're always left in the shadows of their Chaos brethren. Granted, Chaos isn't, much more updated than Beastmen, but for some reason, Beastmen just feel more haggard. I mean, I think that's because the Chaos campaign is a little bit more fluid than the Beastmen one, but not by much. Yes. The goats are sad, Anna says. All right, 2-1 here. We'll see if the Iron General can get back on the board. It's going to be Showtime with the Beastmen facing off against the Greenskins. We're going to be led by the Iron General. Should be quite a bit of fun. I have a quick sip of water here, and we'll get this party started. Delicious. Sure, baby. Dziękuję bardzo. All right, guys, so for the Beastmen army, it's going to be Centaurs on the flanks. Front line is just a mishmash of just cheap chaff, so Ungor Spearman herds. This is pretty common. You know, spears stacked with Razor Gores. It's, a little bit of a spank and spank, I suppose, or more like tank or meat shield and spank. Yeah, a lot of Centaurs. The Throwing Axe is pretty good against Stone Trolls, good against, infantry in general, decent against Grom the Paunch. I quite like that quite a bit. We got a couple spawn mixed in there. Oh my god, is it going to be Kazrak? Oh, my heart skipped a beat, but no, it's going to be Morker the Shadow Gave, backed up by a Manticore Summoner. So pretty standard stuff for sure. Yeah, poor Beastman. And for the Greenskins, this is a matchup that, from the Greenskin perspective, even after the DLC, I found it to be kind of tricky for the Greenskins. Like, I found myself struggling a lot and ended up just kind of blobbing up with, like, a spider and sometimes even a rogue idol and just getting real crazy. Dziękuję bardzo. Zati. Lady Turn says hello. She's looking at me. The evil eye. Proszę bardzo, yeah, for sure. And for the Greenskin army here, it's going to be Savage Orc Biggins. We got Thrag, the wife of Throg, the giant river troll hag. We do also have Grom the Paunch. A massive core of Spider Riders on the flank, backed up by some Stone Trolls and some pigs. Pigs and squigs and Stone Trolls, oh my. All sorts of crazy stuff here on the battlefield. Let's go ahead and get this party started. Yeah, nobody really uses Reiksguard. Knights of the Blazing Sun, I think, are just a better version. I mean, a little bit less durable, but the fire damage and plus the magic resist, I think, makes them a little bit better. That's just my 2 cents. Now, the Beastmen are going to be getting a huge jump early. It looks like a bit of a lapse here in Micro from the Forest Goblin Spider Riders, as they do kind of get jumped by the Beastmen Vanguard, but I can tell you from experience, it's very easy for that to happen, considering how fast the Beastmen are and the Vanguard and all that sort of witchcraft. So, yeah, hard to say. So there are the Forest Goblin Spider Riders pulling back. Only taking a couple casualties, not too bad. And it looks like this is going to be the epicenter of the engagement here, as the Savage Orcs are. Now, this is something you really have to be careful for as a Greenskin player in this matchup, not to overextend. If your army gets, like, for example, if these Savage Orcs over chase these Ungors and then get surrounded by spawn and pigs, they're going to die super quick. So you got to be careful. And look at that. Good play. So it looks like the Iron General is going to be pulling back those Savage Orc Biggins before they overextend to their doom. Beastmen are a faction, kind of like Vampire Counts in a way, that they're really good. If you, like, leave anything isolated, they're going to jump all over that shit and just go cow wild or pig wild, whatever you guys want to say. Now, right here, it looks like these Stone Trolls might have been given an accidental attack order. A little bit hard to say. They were pushing up into the hills, but now the Razor Gores are going to be countercharging them. So the pigs chasing the trolls in the forest. Chaos Spawn also getting in there, but those Stone Trolls probably want to get back. You might even have to send in something to save them, but no, it looks like the Stone Trolls should more or less be able to get back to the Spider Riders and get a little bit of support, and then from there they should be okay. Now on the front line, we do have Savage Orc Biggins moving in, Grom the Paunch being used as kind of a sacrificial lamb in the beginning, blobbing up the Beastmen, and now the Savage Orc Biggins can pile in and start to get some pretty effective trades. Iron General, in the meantime, leaving a massive contingent of his force over here on this flank. Now he's going to be moving those guys back and across, probably to get engaged, but here you can see the Savage Orc Biggins are doing the work of the gods. They cut through those hounds. They're going to massacre these Chaos Spawn pretty easily. So far, Savage Orc Biggins proving to be huge MVPs. Now, Beastmen coming in for a counterpunch. Going to be dropping a summit. So the Feral Manticore being used to go after the giant River Troll Hag. A great choice. 50 armor. Pretty vulnerable against such attacks. But Grom the Paunch, he might actually be able to take out that Bray Shaman if it's not careful. Here we have a big flank engagement as well. Beastmen able to get some hounds to chase down those Spider Riders. But we have a big pit fight here. So we do have Stone Trolls and Forest Goblins and nasty Skulkers, but Morkers here as well. But this is a very grindy fight, but a really, really nice summon there from the Beastmen. Dropping Chaos Spawn behind the Trolls, which will tank their leadership super hard. Goblins hate that shit as well. So this looks like it could be a very, very big engagement here in this battle. However, a beautiful surround. So the Giant River Troll Hag does drop a Spirit Leech on top of the Bray Shaman, and it also gets surrounded by Spider Riders and Savage Orcs. That Bray Shaman is going to be going in the can. But not before it gets its second Manticore summon, so it's not really the worst thing in the world. So right here, the Forest Goblin Spider Riders are getting focused down pretty good, like. Yeah, you can see those guys not having a great time, but the Beastmen fight on. Stone Trolls somehow, someway are holding, perhaps partially because of the WA, but that only gives them ITP. It doesn't give them leadership, but they do have the encouragement from Grom the Paunch nearby. The Greenskins doing quite well in other engagements. Here, they are able to deal with the Manticores. The Bray Shaman of the Beast is going to be going down. They have Stone Trolls here. And over here, it looks like these Savage Orc Biggins were able to cut through the spawn pretty effectively and are now getting a backup of nasty Skulkers. So, pretty damn close game. Remember, there are summons on the table here, but got to be careful with greenskins. If you get a little bit disconjointed, the Beastmen, like I said, are really, really good. 5 weird things these goblins hate. You stay to the end to find out. Oh my god, I love all those like haggard clickbait titles. You wouldn't believe number 5. Doctors hate him. Yeah, those are all so funny. Anyways, here, Stone Trolls are shaken, but they're holding really well. I'm incredibly surprised by this. Grom the Paunch able to pull out as well. And Grom is a useful tool against Morker, too. You can usually deal with him in the late game. Now, the Greenskin's going to be isolating something of their own, as these Chaos Spawn are going to be taking some big old thick damage and kind of getting dragged down here a little bit. A full health unit of the Savage Orc Biggins are going to be making their way in, and this is actually looking to be pretty good for the Greenskins, despite the balance of power. I think that the Greenskins are going to be able to get the Savage Orcs and the Stone Trolls and the Giant River Troll Hag and have a really nasty blob. And I don't know if the Beastmen without their summons have the steam to break such a blob. On top of that, there's Forest Goblin Spider Riders in there, which are going to be poisoning everything. So that's another... Goblins hate this troll, I know. So he earns how much from home? Oh, free insurance for those over 55. Oh, yeah. Good times, good times. Yeah, there's a lot of those memes out there, isn't there? Now, the Beastmen, let's go ahead and take a macro look here at this battlefield. We have Ungor Spearmen coming back, maybe some piggies in the distance that could be a player here, but it looks like the Iron General is pulling ahead a little bit in this battle as his Stone Trolls and his Savage Orcs are just buzzsawing through the competition. And that sounds like it could be like an advertisement as well. Grom the Paunch just being a disruptive tool around the battlefield, going to try and finish off some of these Chaos Warhounds right here, and he's good against them. He has a Chariot. Chariots are very good against infantry-sized models, including Chaos Warhounds. And the Savage Orc's still alive. The last spawn of Morker appears to have come out here, so that must have been the Spirit Essence of Chaos, but the Savage Orc Biggins should be able to hold and endure against that, especially with the support of this Giant River Troll Hag. See how that goes. Yeah, the Stone Trolls, despite fighting Spears, trading well. These Spears do not have great AP, and the Stone Trolls do have Regeneration plus armor, but the Throwing Axes coming in from the Centaurs and the high ground really is certainly the way to deal with these trolls. A couple good volleys from those Throwing Axes, plus a rear charge, might even be able to break these trolls and get the Beastmen back in terms of the balance of power. So right here, Savage Orc Biggins are shaken, stirred, but still sitting relatively strong at 20 leadership. And now the Chaos Spawn moving in to try and finish them off before they do fade back into the warp here. The Savage Orcs must have gotten some good value. Yeah, man, look at the Savage Orc Biggins. Holy shit, up to about 1,400 value. Beautiful performance. I do think Savage Orc Biggins are probably one of the best units on the Greenskin roster. As a matter of fact, maybe I should do a video on my updated thoughts on the best unit for each roster, because it's changed quite a bit. Most recent one, I think, I can't remember what the Greenskins had back then. It must have been the Black Orc, but that one was pretty outdated. I really do feel like the Savage Orc Biggins have kind of done their thing. So Grom the Paunch able to go full Chungus mode and run over those Razor Gores, and now it's looking like the Greenskins are able to stabilize here after a very, very hotly contested battle between these two top-tier players here in Showtime and Iron General. The Ungor Spearman herds are chased off. Morker the Shadowgave has his filthy Pimp Claw, and he's still going to battle against these Savage Orcs, who continue to just club on him, man. What's their value now? Yeah, up to almost 1,600. And yeah, Morker's taking damage, man. He does regenerate. Nice counter charge from the Beastmen, getting those Centaurs in there to break the leadership of those poor Savage Orcs, who are very, very beaten up at this point. But yeah, Thrag is here. There's a ton of Orcs and Greenskins coming back. Yeah, we got Skulkers, we got Stone Trolls. We even have some Savage Orc Piggies coming back. What do the Beastmen have? A couple Centaurs with Throwing Axes. They have some Poison Hounds. Morker RNG maybe could pull something out here, but I don't know, man. Grom the Paunch is just so solid against foot characters. Like, he could cycle charge Morker all frickin' day. Spirit Leech going down from the Hag, able to drop a nice one there on those Centaurs with Throwing Axes. And, yeah, those Centaurs are going to be running for the hills, and here comes the Giant River Troll Hag. Moving in, she's got her giant sack of meat. It's time. The Ungor Spearman herds, not liking the Chariot charge from Grom the Paunch, are going to be pulling back. And now it is, yeah, it's Morker's last stand. This Morker is like the Count Noctilus. He's always the last one standing, kind of getting circle beaten. Yeah, I think Spider Rider Archers are certainly a contender for one of the best units on the Greenskin roster. Those bad boys are really, really nasty. Super cost effective, great at counter skirmishing, good in blob fights. Can't really go wrong with them, so something to think about, man. So there it goes, Centaurs with Throwing Axes, now in combat with these Stone Trolls. Stone Trolls should be able to massacre them pretty badly in combat. They got those big old clubs, man, and they're not afraid to use them. You won't believe these Stone Trolls. Yeah, they're crushing the Centaurs. So it looks like it might be army losses here relatively soon. Army losses is certainly one of the best ways to defeat Morker. Morker and Noctilus. The biggest counter to Morker and Foot Noctilus is army losses. And yeah, you can see Morker is going to get afflicted by a smoke bomb, and now he's probably going to be surrounded. So we'll do a little bit of fast forwarding here. Beastmen do have some resources, but that is going to be the end. And now, guys, we're going to the rubber match, baby. Iron General in Week 1 went to Game 5 against Wicked D and was able to win Game 5 in a very close series. And now let's see who's going to be the winner between Showtime and Iron General here in Week 2. Should be fun. Let's do it to it, man. Oh, yeah. Update that scoreboard. You want to see the Trolls value? I will not blue ball you in that respect. So 1,100 and 1,300 on the gold value there. But here, 1,600 on those Savage Orcs, 1,200 there. Yeah, Trolls and Savage Orcs perform really well. Grom the Paunch got about 1,200, but like the value isn't really everything. Grom the Paunch, like, he was still full health, right? So that in itself is huge value. He's just so survivable. Pretty cool stuff. For the Beastmen, Morker did fine. He pretty much always does. Razor Gores, okay. I'm looking for real breadwinners. Probably Centaurs the Throwing Axes. Yeah, 1,200 on those guys and 800 here. I like this army. I think both players had great armies. It was a close game. A couple of different engagements, and it could have gone either way. But, yeah, it was great. It was great, man. Great game. We're 2-2, man. I have a sip of my tea real quick while we hang out here for a moment. Make sure to always bring a Bounce of Power Bar when you're fighting against Morker and Noctils, for sure. So, yeah, Viking. The Skulkers were just being used for the smoke bombs, mainly. Like, when the Beastmen would come in to cycle charge with either Razor Gores or Centaurs, he would smoke bomb them down and then countercharge them with Spider Riders. It would appear that that was kind of his school of thought, or kind of his tactics there. How's it going, Wicked? We were just talking about how you had an amazing series versus Iron General in the Week 1 of our Gran Turino Swiss League here. Really, really good games, man. Good to have you on stream. Hopefully your team is ready for Team Hag Guard. Yes. Yeah, Beastmen can summon Manticores. You would think Beastmen would be able to bring Manticores, like... Yeah, why can't they? Did Beastmen have Manticores in Tabletop? Or do they have their own monsters that maybe just haven't been added to the game yet? Yeah. We'll find out. All right. So let's do it to it. Intro graphic is here. Let us begin. The 5th and final game between these two titans of multiplayer. Showtime, Iron General, Empire vs. Skaven. Talk dirty. I love that matchup. It's always a fun one. Some delicious tea that Lady Charn made me here. That's good. Just what the doctor ordered, man. So freaking cold here in California. By California standards, that is. I'm sure all of you guys in Europe are like, you know, cold, really. Or other parts of the world. Canada. I'm sure it's actually cold up there. Or pretty much any other state here. So it's going to be Empire versus Skaven. Certainly a fun one. There's a couple ways to play this for Empire. You can either go the Rush with Volkmar. You can go super wide using a ton of Archers and Huntsmen and just kind of play that style of play. Yeah. Or you can try and play some cheeky cannon sniping. But I find that that style of play doesn't work as well against Skaven nowadays with all their Wolf Rats and new tools they have. So Viking in chat says they had Jabberslights and Gorgons, but they cost too much. All right. Well, that's fair play. Hopefully we'll see them eventually. Now let us load in 2-2 here in this contested series. See how this goes. Firstly, for the Skaven, it's going to be Clan Rats. Oh, yeah, Plague Monks. All right. This guy knows how to win the hearts of the people, bringing Plague Monks instead of your very typical weapons teams. But this is a really aggressive Skaven rush. It's quad Rat Ogre, triple Plague Monk, Plague Furnace Throt, and that's pretty much it. Like, this is just a straight up Skaven rush. Oh, dude, I'm so hyped for this. This is going to be great. And now for the Sons of Sigmar, up in the sky, we have Boris Todbringer. We do also have a Deathcaster on the ground. Anytime you're not bringing a healer, you know, Toddy's a good choice if you want to use other magic. We do have Empire Knights. It looks like 4 of them. It's going to be Flagellants and Sigmar Sons. And up on the high ground of this forest, we have Huntsmen. And that would appear to be it, with some Empire Knights kind of catty-cornered off on the edge of the map. This is it. Let's do it, guys. This is Game 5. Who's going to win it? Let me know. You guys are going to root for the Skaven or the Sons of Sigmar. It's pretty hard to root against a Skaven Plague Monk rush. That is for sure. And it looks like Throt is going to get blasted with a Spirit Leech. Honestly, I might have even let Toddy land there and then just like summon Rat Ogres on top of him. You might even be able to kill him there. The Skaven Death Wall. I know. This is super exciting. Negative 42 Celsius in Russia. Holy shit. Yeah. 17 Celsius in California is so cold. I know. We're spoiled. Well, to be fair, I'm standing in my boxers with no shirt on, so that's probably why I'm a little bit cold, but it is what it is. I like casting shirtless. It brings out the primal energy. So here it comes. The Plague Priest is going to be getting focused on by the Huntsman, triple Huntsman. They're doing some good damage, but the Plague Monk summon is going to be opening up here against these Sigmar Sons. Certainly probably want to pull that Plague Priest back at this point. Just kind of protect it with some Rat Ogres. But now the Empire is going to be collapsing downward from the hill. Empire Knights getting a full hammer charge here into the Skaven Slaves. And there's going to be some decent casualties on those guys. And now here comes Toddy in the front as well. Going to be helping out against those summons. Flagellants against Skaven Slaves. But oh man, that is a lot of damage here on the Plague Priest in the beginning. Spirit Leeches plus Huntsman Focus Fire. A little bit of a mistake letting it take that much damage. But certainly not going to cost you the game. Now here in the back, the Rat Ogres certainly need to be dispatched to help deal with the Empire Knights. That's pretty much their role in this matchup, is to fight Empire Knights and Knights of the Blazing Sun and all those different tools like that. So we'll see how they perform. Rat Ogres kind of fanning out in different directions. Here the Plague Monks are trading very effectively actually with the Flagellants. They seem to be winning the fight quite handedly. They have better stats, more or less. A little bit less melee attack, but they do have a bonus for infantry and also decent physical resist. So Plague Monks seem to be doing pretty well. I believe they also have a higher model count. Yeah, man, you can see Flagellants really getting worked on by those guys. But Flagellants aren't necessarily there to win fights. They're more or less there to kind of hold and do their thing, so we will see. More Empire Knights kind of trying to screen out these Skaven flanking tools. Sigmar Sun's beating the brakes off those freaking summons in the front, so those Plague Monk summons getting massacred here. Now we have a pretty big fight in the forest here. Throth the Unclean was able to kind of outmaneuver the flanks and is now potentially in a duel with Toddy. Now, the best way to use the Rat Ogre summon, in my opinion, is to trap enemy lords. You cast it on top of them, you trap them with mass, and then you use Creature Killer. I can't tell you how many games I've been able to win with that. So, Boris Todbringer is going to be running for the hills here, trying to get away from Throth. Throth's very fast, but the Empire Knights might be able to provide a screen for him to get away, because Toddy does not want to be dueling Throth, especially while he has the Creature Killer active. And yeah, Toddy's taking a lot of damage. He might have to juke through these trees to get away from this Molder monster, although it looks like he might have gotten the separation he needs to get back up in the sky, and Toddy is free once again. Now back in the main combat, Plague Monks cutting through the Flagellants pretty well, but there are Empire Knights helping out, which will lead to the demise of those Plague Monks. Over here on this side, pretty much the same thing, although we have some Empire Halberds that are still holding pretty well, but the Huntsmen are all still functional. We have 1, 2, 3, and I think 1 Huntsman unit might have been taken out. Toddy once again going in. This could actually be a game throw for Toddy, though, if he's not careful. He's attacking the Plague Furnace, which sure isn't a bad idea. But with Throth nearby, if Throth's able to really capitalize and chase him here, but it looks like Throth kind of had some weird attack orders there, and maybe wasn't able to do it to it. So yeah, we'll see. And here comes Boris Todbringer pulling back at this point. The Empire formations are holding pretty well, considering how aggressive the Skaven push was with Plague Monks. Empire Knights are still in good shape. 37 right here. We have 38 right here, which means that even if the front line does falter, you can kind of substitute them in for the Empire Knights. And Empire Knights, yeah, should be able to peel off these Rat Ogres. And yeah, look at this. There's only 5 Flagellants left. That's quite brutal. This is a really, really close game, though. A little bit, you know, kind of janky up here in the hills, having the fight in the trees a little bit. But man, oh man, I think Throth might be able to out-sustain here. He is a real pain in the butt to deal with. But, you know, Toddy's doing a good job here as well, breaking off some units. And if they can, you know, crush these Rat Ogres and chase them off with Empire Knights. And look at this. The Huntsmen somehow exchanging deployment zones. So they are going to pull around this way. And we'll see what they can do. Here comes the shots. Huntsman, yeah, this is great. 2 Huntsmen just shooting freely into a massive Skaven light armor. I mean, you have Plague Monks here, you have Ogres, all of which are very, very weak to Huntsman fire. And the Empire Knights are just being thrown into the meat grinder, basically, to buy some time. So here comes Throth. He's emerging from the tree line. The Plague Priest is coming out as well. Looks like another Spirit Leech going down. Toddy really wants to finish that off. Certainly not a bad idea. The Mortis Engine effect could be something that could potentially change the tide of the game. But right now, this is like a dead even game. Nobody's really in a terribly commanding position. But Toddy making a very balls-deep engagement here. Just going for the kill, man. A little bit risky with Throth nearby, but Throth seems a little bit kind of delayed to react to this. And that could cost him the Plague Furnace, although Throth then does come over. Does miss the attack, so it looks like the melee defensive Toddy was able to hold firm. And Toddy's really committed to this, man. He's really going in deep, trying to finish off that furnace, but now he's a little bit surrounded by the Broodmaster here of Clan Molder. Creature Killer active once again, and I guess to Throth, Toddy is just the giant creature. We will see. But is he going to get that furnace? 600 HP, that furnace like keeps staggering him and knocking him back. It looks like he did hit it. It's at 200 leadership. You know, Toddy still has plenty of room before his healing cap, so I guess he could run, but maybe he'll even fight here. It's hard to say. You know, one thing about the trees is, too, you can kind of use the trees and just run past them, and sometimes, you know, Throth is going to get stuck on the trees a little bit. Although right there, it looks like he ran past it pretty well. Skaven Slaves might be able to keep him on the ground as far as the rest of the fights go. The Death Priest and the Huntsman making their kind of valiant last stand out here with some Empire Knights. And the Empire Knights and Flagellants were able to win this fight. It looks like it's probably a little bit better for the Skaven right now. It's hard to say, though, but without the Summoner, I don't know. It's really going to come down to Toddy here. Is Toddy going to be able to carry this? The Rat Ogre summon has been used. I know somebody in chat was asking that. It was used quite early in the game, but the Rat Ogre summon definitely is a really good lore degooning tool. But with this, the Iron General does pull ahead a little bit with his dreaded Skaven Wall of Doom. And the Empire forces, the Flagellants and the Huntsmen here, are not terribly numerous. Only 16 and 25 Huntsmen left. Here comes Throt the Unclean as well. And Throt's so healthy too. Rat Ogre's screaming in from the hill, having chased off some Empire Knights. Going to be staggering Toddy pretty bad with the giant power fist they have. And yeah, Toddy's just going to be on the run, man. Oh, it's so close. Balance of power is still really even. I mean, Empire Knights, and there's also probably a couple Spirit Leeches in the back pocket. So maybe if Toddy could get a decent engagement against Throt with the support of some Empire Knights, or maybe even some, very tattered halberds here, some Spirit Leech, he could break the leadership of him. Throt doesn't have the best leadership. I mean, it's not bad. By Skaven standards, I suppose it's respectable, but generally it's not super good. Clan Rat Spears are shaken. It looks like some of them are terrified off right here. Huntsmen are now engaging against Throt, which is certainly not what they want to be doing. And this is a really, really close game, guys. We still have, 39 Sigmar Sons. I didn't see this. And instead of Spirit Leeching Throt, he does go after the Rat Ogres, which I suppose is a good idea, because Throt would probably just regenerate through it. Might as well get rid of a substantial threat here. So there you can see the Rat Ogres are going to be routing off the Rout Ogres, as they're often referred to. Huntsman ripping a couple shots into the rallying Skaven slaves in the hills, and now it looks like the Empire might be able to pull this one back. The Sons of Sigmar do have a fair amount of unbreakable troops. If Toddy can stay healthy until all the Skaven are more or less pushed off except Throt, he might be able to win a duel there, or at least trade well. 47, 40, 450. He does have the couple items as well, the White Cloak of Ulrich and Crush the Weak, both of which are pretty good at debuffing enemies in duels. But yeah, I think right here Iron General has the right idea, just gooning out the Empire character here. Just go after the Amethyst Wizard. For the most part, Throt should be able to get that character. We'll see. But the Unbreakable Sigmarites, the Sigmar Sons, really are going to be a big problem to deal with. Those guys are meaty for sure. Now their Spirit Leech going down. You can see nailing those Rat Ogres once again. And the Empire Knights able to rout off a couple of the rallying Clan Rats. Man, guys, we got a scrap on our hands. The balance of power is dead even. What an amazing Game 5 between these two gentlemen. And then Toddy comes in with the steel chair in the back, hits Throt once or twice before Throt can even respond. However, Throt does have healing. He's got remoldered. And Boris Todbringer is probably pretty damn close to his healing cap here. But now Toddy's going to be pulling back. He did bait out that remoldered. Oh man, Throt is such a beast. He's just going after Toddy. Empire Knight's doing an excellent job making sure nothing's coming back. That's definitely something that Throt wants, right? He wants to stand on top of some Clan Rats or Skaven slaves to give him that buffering. Skaven monsters typically don't have the best leadership, so get a little bit messy. Toddy coming in once again, going to be attacking Throt, and you can see like Throt's he's at full health, and he's shaken right now. Like a couple more good rear charges or surrounds or a little bit more DPS, and this bad boy could break. So the Death Wizard's still fighting. Toddy's going to be pulling back, trying to tear out off those troops over there. It looks like the Skaven slaves are maybe pulling back up in the sky to dive Throt once more, but yeah, you don't want to let the Skaven slaves get back in here. Like I said, for the reason, Throt is very, very powerful when he's supported on the ground, as are most Skaven characters. Now, Toddy gets chased in the open field a little bit. Looks like he's doing some Mad Max here in the desert, juking this bad boy out. Yeah, we'll end the stream with some FFAs, correct. We pretty much always do. It's always a good time to play with you guys. So Flagellants, there's one model here. Amethyst Wizard, we got some Flagellants there as well. 37 Sigmar Sons, man. That is a meaty pack of Sigmarites. And yeah, the Empire Knights still riding around. Just only 15 of them, man. 206 kills. Doing a great job. Got to be careful with these Toddy engagements, though. You really got to pick and choose and make sure you're getting the optimal charges here. If Throt the Unclean is the last Skaven on the battlefield, I mean, he can chase things like near him, but he would traditionally have to stay in combat. Yeah, Throt is really, really strong. He's a monster. I believe I can't remember how much he costs compared to, like, Toddy. I mean, obviously, Toddy has the advantage of flying, so he can more or less go over formations. Balance of power is coming back, actually, to the Skaven, as the Death Wizard really gets punished pretty bad by Throt. I think you got to go all in with Toddy now. Like, I would just stay and just keep fighting while you're surrounded by the Sigmar Sons. I mean, those infantry will do some okay damage against Throt, I suppose. Yeah, and you can see he is attacking with the Skaven slaves here, so he can technically still right now, like, move Throt out and go, like, attack and things like that until, all those Skaven troops are gone. So Throt's going to be bouncing over, rear charging into the Huntsman. The Death Wizard is gone off the battlefield. Oof, that definitely hurts. Nice rear charge from Toddy, though. Will he connect? Will he get the damage in? It looks like he misses that attack, which is pretty unfortunate. And the Death Wizard comes in on his horse and takes a swing and a miss. But now it looks like it's just the Rat Man. Man, Toddy's really taking so much damage from these engagements. And here it comes. I think you just have to commit, man. Just stay the course and fight. Get Toddy in there. Like, keeping him back right now is going to cost you the game. Because the Death Wizard's just going to take the brunt of it. Yeah, negative 61 right now. Will the Unbreakable troops be able to do it? I mean, Throt does not have great crowd clearing. Yeah, because army losses is going to kick in potentially. I mean, there's still 31 spearmen here. Maybe they could do something. I don't know. Throt's leadership is pretty damn bad. Okay, he's got Empire Knights coming back. That's actually pretty nice. And you can see Throt is taking quite a bit of damage. Yeah, he's taking quite a bit. He's at 41 leadership, getting kind of poked down by these Sigmar Sons. There's still 29 of them. All right, I see what he's working with. He's trying to, you know, tire Throt out. Wait for the leadership to kind of tank a little bit, and it looks like he's going to be jumping over here after the Huntsman. And those Huntsmen are wavering pretty good. But Empire Knights should be able to get a good surround. I think once the Empire Knights do collapse in there, I think Boris Todbringer might go in for the kill. And those guys are now broken, so Throt has kind of re-engaged here. He's lost a couple hundred HP. We still have 4 Flagellants. We have 29 Sigmar Sons. And the Empire Knights do come in to engage against Throt. I think you got to send Toddy in now, man. Although Creature Killer is active, maybe you wait that out. It's hard to say. He's being very, very patient with this, which I don't know if it's the right play. I mean, I think Toddy needs to go in while the Empire Knights are still functional. Looks like a couple Huntsmen did come down here. Yeah, he needs to get in there. It's like, it's pretty low in leadership. One really, really good rear charge, man, could break Throt. Like, his leadership's 35 right now. Like, a rear charge plus, like, a leadership hit. I guess he's really banking on the Sigmar Sons to get that damage in there, which, I mean, they can for sure. Sigmar Sons hit pretty hard. I mean, not when they're poisoned, I guess. Another Empire Knight charge, taking down Throt a couple hundred HP, and we do have the Huntsman moving in as well. Ratman is a raid boss for sure, but I mean, nothing here is good against him. Like, there was a couple opportunities this game in which I think Toddy could have stayed and fought, and maybe finished him off, or not, well, gotten some good damage on him, but I don't know if he's waiting too long. It's hard to say. Toddy is at 900 HP. We have a couple Spearmen moving back in. It is going to be army losses relatively soon. The Sigmar Sons are getting a little bit bare bones in the models, and now he's finally going to be going in. And will he get the attack? This is pretty big. This is pretty much going to decide the game, more or less. So he misses the first attack, and it looks like the Ratman is still going, but he pulls back before Throt can really get him, which is good, because then Throt kind of wastes time chasing instead of attacking the other infantry. I think you just got to cycle charge now, man. I think that's got to be the play. 3-1 and 15 Sigmar Sons. You're running really, really light on stuff here. So the charge, does it make impact? It does. And see, like, now he has 7 leadership. Like, if that had been done when the Empire Knights were engaging, maybe. Throt's wavering. He is shaken. He's wavering. Toddy's back up in the sky. The Unbreakable troops are still fighting. 13. You could let him go a little bit longer, but I think you got to go for the kill. Huntsman coming back in once again. Throt's 2,400, so Toddy, I think, is a little bit cheaper, actually. Yeah. And obviously Throt can't fly, so. Here comes the charge. Is it going to be enough? Oh, my goodness. And that is it. Toddy wins the game. Holy shit. Throt is broken. That's what I'm telling you about Skaven monsters. I had a game where I had Throt, I had a Chieftain, and like another Brood Horror, and I like was super ahead on the balance of power, and I lost because I had to stay in combat with Skeleton Spears in accordance with the tournament rules. Like, they can break like that. That was so close. Boris, the Todbringer, and that is going to be a 3-2 victory for Showtime. An amazing series, very well played to both players. A really unorthodox build by Iron General in my experience. Usually Skaven, it's so weird seeing Skaven without weapons teams, but you know, it worked fine, right? Like, it was a close game. Yeah, that was really close. Dude, holy shit. Look at the value on Big Chungus. 4,500 value on Throt. I mean, what else got value in this army? Plague Monks got 800. Pretty good value on Plague Monks, actually. They all paid for themselves, and some of the Ogres did fine, I suppose. Damn, but Big Chungus got 4,500. Toddy did well, too, at 2,100. The Huntsman must have gotten some good work, too. 700, 1,100, 1,400. Yeah, not bad. Empire Knights all did good, too. Sigmar Sons at 1,300 also. Cardio beats Skaven, apparently. Yeah, that was crazy. Hey, Martin Hearn, thank you so much for the donation during the game. I'm sorry I missed it. Thanks for the amazing content as usual. Sigmar bless you and the Queen. All right, man. Thank you, Martin. Hope you're doing well. And if you're saying the Queen, perhaps you're in the UK, man, so cheers. Hope all is well over there. Hope it's better than here with this cursed Rona. Could you do a Vlad Monster Mash in FFA? I'll see what I can do, Raptor Jesus. Yeah. That was insane. So, for anyone who's new, if you look at the value, the damage dealt is the raw, like, HP damage dealt. The damage value is the amount of gold they killed, basically. So, he did 4,500 worth of gold damage to the Empire, which is pretty crazy. Like, for reference, an Empire Knight cost 800, so, you know, he more or less killed, like, 4 Empire Knights worth of value, which is really, really crazy. Rats are really strong, for sure. But honestly, Skaven do have some weaknesses. I feel like they still can be beaten by Wood Elves very easily. I feel like Empire has a good even matchup for Skaven. Maybe slightly Skaven favor, but not so much that it matters. Beastmen can beat Skaven. I've seen that done in recent tournaments. So, oh, my queen? Oh, okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. You and the queen. Well, I would have assumed he would have said your queen. You know? All right. So let's go ahead and move on to the next series, the next best of 5. Thank you guys all for joining. This is going to be the last one for today. And then after that, we will jump on over to an FFA to close things out. UK is going back into full lockdown tonight. Oof, yeah. LA is really bad too. Like all of our hospitals are full. It's really bad. So Lady Turn and I, my queen, are just going to be hanging out and staying inside, and we're pretty strict about it. Like she does an excellent job. So basically, she's like developed these grocery apps where like they're delivered. So she deals with that, and then when they get here, we spray down all the groceries with like alcohol sanitizing spray and like wipe everything down before we put it in the fridge. So we're pretty thorough about everything. So hopefully it'll pay off. Yeah. My queen. You guys want a little Jon Snow? That'd be a really funny one to get on the little deck I have here. My queen. Karl Franz is great. Toddy's really good though if you don't bring a healer, because like he was able to heal a lot, whereas Franz would have without a healer would have died. So yeah, you got to take that into account. All right, so let me go ahead and get the next game set. My queen. The Jon Snow thing is so funny. Oh my god. Freaking Game of Thrones season. Oh, that last season was such a piece of shit. Jesus Christ. Don't want to get into that right now. Amazing series between Showtime and Iron General. And now, my friends, we will go into the final match of the day. Let me see how I can spell their name so I get that right. Do you know Joey? Oh man, Bill, that meme feels so old now, even though it was only like, what, 2 years ago or something? 3 years ago? Yeah, it feels like it's like ancient. Man, the lifespan of memes is very, very short, huh? All right. Croissant Bert, I think is his name. Let me go ahead and get this. How the hell does he spell? Did he spell it correctly? What are the origins of your name? It's my middle name. Yeah. Italian ancestry. It's from my dad's side. So my dad's middle name is Turin. His dad's middle name was Turin, and his dad before him. So it's like a legacy name from my dad's side of the family. Yeah, you paint some Cadians, huh, Will? That sounds fun. I've always thought the Cadians were really cool. All right, so let's reset this. Just making sure I spell it. C-R-O-I-S-S. Is it Bert? Yes. Versus Huron. Let's see if this will fit. All right. So first game here. Oh, this is going to be a fun one. I don't think we've seen too much undead today. It's going to be Vampire Counts, or Coast versus Vampire Coast. Counts and Coast. Yes. Let's do it to it. I have to make sure the names are in the right place, so just give me a second. Memes are really short if they have the high ground. Nice, dude. Yeah, some memes, yeah, no. Randy Redcat, my wife and I go on walks like every day. Yeah, we take the dogs and we like go to these like, we go late at night, usually at like 10 when there's nobody out, and then we just go on these strolls. All right, so 1 second here. Let's load in. Huron's name is going to have to be shrunk down. I think that's how he spells his name. I can't remember. So my apologies if I got it wrong. All right. There you have it. Let's do it to it. Yes, it is you, Mark. It is your games. May my micro mistakes live on in infamy. All day, man. All day. I mean, yeah. Having a dreaded tactical reserve is always worth it. So, for the forces of the Vampire Counts here, it's going to be Skeleton, Spears, and Skeletons in the front line. Always pretty good. And normally Vampire Counts have like a very tight formation, right? Because you want to like benefit from all the healing. But against Vampire Coast, going wider certainly makes sense because you're trying to swarm a gun line, right? So he's got Skeletons. He's got the Corpse Cart. Vlad Double Banshee. You know, as much as this like might seem like funny, it's actually pretty good. Vlad is very, very persistent in this matchup, and the double Banshees are great against crabs, monsters, Luther, you name it. So pretty cool for sure. I dig this build, man. We got Skeleton Spearmen on either side. Graveguard with Great Opens perhaps is a surprise anti-Graveguard pick. Or, excuse me, Depth Guard. And some Fellbats up in the sky to chase down Deck Dropper handguns. A very, very good choice for sure. So now in the front here we have Zombie Pirate Deckhand Mob Polearms mixed with some standard zombies. We do also have a couple handguns, which is a little bit risky. I feel like if you're gonna go Air Force gun against counts, you need to really commit to it. Because in this case, 4 Fellbats are just going to they should just massacre these handguns. Luther can't protect them. So we'll see how that goes. We do also have some polearms here. We have a Vampire Captain of the Deep, which the only reason you bring him is to give a spiteful shot magic damage to your big monsters to allow them to kill the Banshees. And, ooh, double Depth Guard polearm. All right, all right, all right. This is what I'm talking about, man. Depth Guard polearms. This is going to be fun. I'm excited for this matchup all of a sudden. So let's go ahead and see how this goes. I'm going to take a sip of my tea while these glorious battles march. I know, Vlad the Dad, man. Yes. Turin, pop-up Turin. Did I spell it wrong? No, okay, I spelled it right. Okay. It's like, I don't want to get your name wrong, man. After this glorious, glorious build I'm seeing here. So yeah, the Fellbats are just going to beeline it for the Deck Dropper handguns. And they have, what, 100 and something speed? I think 110. Compared to 80 on Deck Droppers. Because those bats are having to carry zombies. These ones are going free ball, so... One thing, though, is that the Flamethrower Gallows Giant can sometimes roast the bats off. It'll be quite interesting to see what happens here. Here it comes. Yeah, getting a couple of bats with the Flamethrower. A couple of them do drop down, but ultimately the Deck Dropper handguns are getting shreked pretty good. Both of them are getting chased off, which is a massive value spike here for the Vampire counts. So we'll see how this goes. Looking a little bit grim. Banshee's now going in for the kill here against the Gallows Giant. Probably the right choice, Gallows Giant and or your boy Luther if he happens to land. Vlad moving in as well, and the Gallows Giant certainly needs some Spiteful Shot right now. Spiteful Shot will, of course, give it magic damage and allow it to actually fight back efficiently against the Banshees, because otherwise the Banshees are just going to be these unstoppable tanks. As far as the other fights go, it's mainly Skeletons and Graveguard just fighting chaff. Over here you can see the Deck Dropper handguns, just like we kind of talked about pre-game, are going to be getting massacred. There are Vampire Coast Air Forces that do work well here, but you yourself have to bring like 3 Fellbats plus Luther to protect them to really get the value there. So the Gallows Giant going to be pulling in some reinforcements. The Master Beguilement from Vlad making him a pretty limp noodle in terms of his melee attack. And the Depth Guard polearm is going to be trying to help, but maybe if you gave him some magic damage. Luther Harkin is actually just sitting up in the sky and using his pistol, which isn't a bad idea. He's just kind of sitting and shooting at the Banshees and or Vlad. And on the flanks, it looks like the Vampire counts are winning most of the infantry engagements, which is pretty normal here. They usually have better infantry. Graveguard coming around the side as well. Looks like they went for a long flanking maneuver. Graveguard with Great Opens should trade super well with Depth Guard polearms. Should actually be pretty unfortunate for them. Now the Gallows Giant is doing a little bit of sticking and moving through the formation and pulling back. And yeah, just needs to stay away from these guys. That's the disadvantage of the foot characters. Oh, the flamethrower down the pipe. Oh, it's just the tip of that flamethrower before he gets interrupted. Now the Gallows Giant is going to be getting Spiteful Shot, so it does do magic damage. So let's see if it can actually connect with the Banshees. In my experience, the Colossus models are very terrible against, these kind of characters here, but... Oh, there's a stomp right there. Able to get some good work on that Banshee while the Vampire Fleet Captain of the Deep comes in to help. Certainly not a bad choice. Abandoned Ship has been activated, or not activated, but triggered, and the Gallows Giant going to be dropping a top payload. Luther Harkin coming in. This could actually be a good comeback for Coast. Oh, man, Vlad is getting worked on. He also takes overcast damage from that Invocation. Brutal. Yeah, does he have the Von Karstein ring? He does. Now would certainly be a good time to pop it while he's taking all this damage. Granted, Vlad is a durable guy. He can take a beating and recover quite well. His combat stats are quite good. At 50 melee defense and 70 melee attack. Now the Fellbats are going to be re-engaging, and certainly a good tool to pin things in. One Fellbat here is going to be diving on the Gallows Giant. Should be able to lock that bad boy in place and really give him the business, while the Banshees got their little ethereal prison shanks and are going to keep stabbing that bad boy. And yeah, this is a big problem here for the Coast. Even if they do win the monster fight, they still have to deal with a million Skeletons and Graveguard with great weapons. And I don't know how well the Depth Guard polearms are doing. Looks like we got zombie polearms. I don't even know where. Did the Depth Guard polearms just straight up die? No, okay, they're fighting over here. Not a great fight for them, though, considering there are Graveguard great weapons with a corpse cart supporting as well. And the dreaded Fellbat Legion comes from the sky, and you can see they've fully surrounded this whole engagement. And Luther Harkin's trying his best, but Vlad is now enduring. He's taken his beating. He's holding like a champ, and now he's going to start probably giving some damage back. Another big problem is, at this point, the The Banshees are still very healthy, I think. I don't think he killed either of them. It's a little bit hard to tell. Looks like this Banshee's in bad shape, actually, as the Deepcaster is kind of getting a little bit lower. God, I hate all these freaking notification icons. I got to turn those freaking things off. I guess it's relatively useful for letting you know things have come back, but yeah, in terms of a viewing perspective, Balance of Power is pretty damn count favored at this point. So far, the dreaded double Banshee is going very strong. One of them has finally fallen, Luther Harkin with a Shriek up in the sky. Very nice right there, actually. He's able to hit some bats and whatnot. But the Gallows Giant going down, and the prevalence of the Vampire Count's infantry is going to be too much. Depth Guard polearms going to lose this handedly, especially with the Invocation of the Heck active. They did get buffed. Certainly a lot better than they were before. But as far as the value they've gotten, about 700, so not terrible. Not good, not terrible. You know, they're holding, they're trying. So here comes Luther Harkin once again, going after your boy Vlad von Karstein. Vlad tanking it like a champ, though. The other Banshee is still very much alive. I'm getting a distinct feeling that this is going to be a game where it's Luther versus like a million infantry units, and he's not going to be able to win it. But Vlad might end up dying here. The Vampire Coast does have a pretty good goon squad. They have the Vampire Fleet Captains, 2 of them, including a Deepcaster. And Vlad is actually going down. So Vlad the Dad will be going back to his coffin to recover after this battle, I'm sure, as he Sparta kicks the Vampire Fleet Captain in the face before crumbling into obscurity. And there he goes. Vlad von Karstein taken out by the Vampire Fleet Captain, but now you have to deal with an unholy legion of undead as triple Graveguard move in. There's absolutely no way the Coast is going to be able to pull this out, in my opinion. Unless maybe Coast had like a ton of summons and could drop them. You know, and just like, maybe if they had all their summons and Luther could just like cycle charge. It's hard to tell. We'll see. So Luther pulling back up in the sky here. He does have the Vampire Fleet Captain of the Deep and the Vampire dude here, but yeah, there's not much of a chance, in my opinion. Nice little breath attack coming in there, but it's just a bump and grind right now. Straight up 90s, 90s R&B. Yeah, these guys are going down. Not long for this Earth. One Banshee does pull back. I'm not sure where it's going, but that is going to be a Vampire count victory there. Well played. Well played indeed. So Huron, Papa of Turin. I do need to change the scorecard. Sorry, it was on the wrong side, so I'll go ahead and do that real quick. Always confuses me in these replays. So let's go ahead and do the switcheroo right there. Come on. And then update. No? Yes? Come on. Okay, now I need to make it fit. And you can be a little bigger. So the Vampire Counts are going to be taking the victory there in the first game. So let's go ahead and take a look at the scorecards. Yeah, Vlad took some damage, but I mean, you know, he took it like a champ. 1600 isn't bad. You know, his Banshees held on. But really, the Graveguard were the MVPs. Look at this, 1200 and probably pretty decent there. The Depth Guard really kind of got wrecked. I mean, what, 800 on this one. They cost 1400. They're really freaking expensive. And 470 here. I think the only matchup in which Depth Guard polearms are actually quite good, in my experience, is against what's it called? The damn Warriors of Chaos. But even still, I don't know. I find that they don't value themselves. But yeah, Vlad was a beast, man. He went on like a champ. Like, Croissant Bert was fighting at such a disadvantage. You know, he lost his 2 Jack Droppers for no value. And then from there, like, he still fought very well. But, like, had these deck droppers been invested in more stuff on the ground, I think he would have had a much better chance of winning. But that's like a 1,400 gold investment that got nothing back. I think that was a big factor. And Huron did a really good job just pushing with those fell bats. And also the Graveguard. The Graveguard thing was really clever. I don't know if he had been facing a lot of Depth Guard polearms or Depth Guard in general, but that was a very good, like, counter pick on the units there. So very well played to both players. Yeah, Vlad does his things. Glacial Lake. Yeah, Glacial Lake helps, but honestly, I don't think it helps that much, Huron, because typically that matchup looks just like this. It's just like Vampire Coast with a monster blob, and then Vampire Count surrounding them. So they're usually you don't see the gun lines too much anyways against Vampire Counts, so I don't think it mattered too much. You played very well, man. So now we'll jump on over to the next match. You got to update these scorecards here. Boom. 1-0 in this best of 5. I would even opt for basic Depth Guard because they can cut through zombies and chaff, but I don't know. I probably wouldn't even use Depth Guard because imagine how much more you could get. Like, you could go, if you cut those 2 Depth Guard, you could get a Rotting Leviathan plus, like, you know, a couple more support units on the ground. I wonder who would win in the Vacuum Wookiee, Vlad or Loki? Loki? Are you talking? You mean Wookiee? It could have been 3 bloated corpses. That's true. I mean, that changes everything. All right, so now we have Huron, Papa of Turin, facing off against Croissant Bert, and it's going to be Norska against Tomb Kings, a matchup that I think historically has been pretty tricky for Tomb Kings. That's just my anecdotal experience, though. But again, things have changed. Things have changed. Yeah, these games are all tourney rules, correct? Yeah, this is actually from my tournament that I'm an offline tournament, so it takes place over the course of a couple weeks, and yeah, it's always a good time. So let's go ahead and load in here. Take a look at these armies. For the forces of Norska, it's going to be Throg the Troll King, backed up by Berserkers and Marauders. We do also have a Firecaster and a Skinwolf Werekin with the Ruinous Flesh. Of course, we saw the dreaded Skinwolf Werekin in the faction war going apeshit a couple weeks ago. Skinwolves and Marauder Horsemen. That is pretty much it. A pretty elite army, actually, I think. Or a small army, I should say. Berserkers, yeah, and then, yeah, just a ton of Berserkers, Brutes of the Hound, and some Skinwolves. And for the Norscan Hordes, going to be led by Croissantbert. He does have Skeleton Spearmen into the Sunset and a couple of Ushopti as well. Ushopti are pretty good here. They give you good armored stopping power against Berserkers and Marauders. I like that pick. And the dreaded Triple Chariot. Oh my god, he brought Cetra! So I don't know if you guys know this right now, but Cetra is currently bugged, and he counts as a living model. So you'll notice he's eager instead of strong binding. So Cetra can actually be broken in the current patch, which is absurd, and he still crumbles. So he just gets dunked on. So Cetra, or does he crumble? Actually, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he just routes now? Yeah. No, it says disintegrating and crumbling, so yeah, I don't know, hard to say. Yeah, Cetra's bugged right now. Really funny. So we got Cetra, double Necrotect, or Necrotect and Tomb Prince, the Sphinx, triple Ushopti, and yeah, more or less like a defensive box type build with the living Cetra. Cetra the not perished, Cetra the living. Why don't factions play mass halberds against vampire counts? Yeah, leadership. Because like halberds don't have great armor. They can get buckled down pretty quick. Yeah. Graveguard massacre them. Yeah, that's another thing for sure. Halberd boxes do work okay against vampire counts if they're like elite halberds, like Blackguard can work and Phoenix Guard, but you know, cheap state troop halberds or men-at-arm polearms, those guys don't have the leadership or durability to hold. So Cetra is bugged right now. Yeah, he's been bugged. It probably will stay that way until the beta drops. I think there's a beta build right now that's like trying to fix it, but you know, like when something is broken in a patch with this game in multiplayer, it's not going to get fixed for like 6 months. It's pretty hilarious. Yeah, so I mean, he breaks, which really sucks, but he's still Cetra. He's still got a chariot. Still my boy. Fireball going down, going to be nailing Cetra in his living face. And now the Chariot Goon Squad going to be going after the weak side of the formation that doesn't have much support. And this is actually quite strong, although Cetra runs into a tree on the way in, which definitely sucks for him. But the Marauder Berserkers are getting wrecked pretty good. These spokes of the Tomb Kings are going through them, and life is good. On the far side, we have some Carrion harassing the Marauder Horsemen, but for the most part, those Horsemen should be fine and should be able to kite back. And Cetra able to get away. Did do some decent damage to Berserkers, killed, you know, more or less 16 models, so really not bad. And now the Ushopti are going to be getting in there, and I expect to see the Chariots maybe drifting in there one more time. But the Skinwolves are here, Throg is nearby in the Werekin, so the Chariot Goon Squad really, really needs to be careful here. Truly it does. Oh, look at this, and a Vanguard of the Miststalkers coming in from Huron. Oh, man, I didn't see that, and they're coming in the backside. Oh, it's going to be so funny. But this is where things can get really messy. We have the Skinwolf Werekin, we have the Balefiend and Throg. Fight or die is activated, and Cetra really is going to want to get out of there. That is not a good fight. Just let them fight the spears, take your chariot elsewhere, you know, go run over here. Because, yeah, Cetra is actually taking quite a bit of damage, and certainly I'm sure is not enjoying that. The big old Sphinx, though. Sphinx, of course, does have that anti-large armor piercing. Not that you need a ton of AP against Norska, but still is putting a number here on these Skinwolves who are quite close to breaking. And a nice burning head coming in from Norska there, able to tear through a ton of the Skeleton Spearmen, which could potentially leave your boy Cetra in a little bit of a compromised position, but we will see. So as far as the other fights go, Norska more or less dominating. The Miststalkers were able to flank in and crush the Ushopti, and the Skeleton Spears here are all going to be breaking. Marauders will be Skeleton Spears there. Oh, there are some Ushopti in the distance, so this is really the only important fight that we're seeing right now. Cetra on the Chariot isn't a bad duelist 1v1. As far as like Chariot characters go, he can do well. And oh, Throg is a little bit surrounded actually. Scroll of Shielding actually is down on him, giving him ward save, but he took a beating from that Sphinx. Cetra on the Chariot also does do fire damage, which is very, very good against Throg. So, oh man, if Cetra can pull out on the Chariot and go chase down Throg right now, that would be a super clutch play. But it looks like something else is going to be chasing him down, which pretty much accomplishes the same thing. And I guess it was just a terror route, so he's back now. Throg with a Sparta kick here on the Tomb Prince. Throg will definitely win this engagement. That Tomb Prince is getting spanked nice and good, although Throg's leadership is certainly in question. Another Sparta kick from Throg, given him right down the chest. Balance of power is pretty even. Another fat erect burning head going to be finishing off those Skeleton Spearmen. Norska, of course, winning the center engagement, but Throg being broken is pretty big. And Cetra, oh man, that Tomb Prince got crushed by Throg, but Throg does break. And now Cetra, the living, is It's going to be chasing him down. Here it comes. Here, he's got his big old cane, and yeah, Throg's on the run. Marauder Horseman throwing axe is going to be coming, trying to peel here, which is a really, really smart play by the Croissantbert. If he could peel off Cetra, and, you know, Throg still could potentially heal up to a couple thousand HP with very cautious play, so trying to save Throg. Oh, look at this. There's actually Skin Wolves over here, too. Those Skin Wolves need to save Throg. That is probably the most important aspect of the game, I think, for Norska, at least. But the infantry fight is going well. The Skin Wolf Werekin is still functional. He's got about 1,500 HP, and still could probably bump and grind things out. The big old Sphinx is still going strong, too, and it looks like the Necrotect was able to come over here and liberate Cetra, who is still confident. No longer does Cetra crumble and have binding. He is a confident, proud Tomb King. So here we got the big fight of fights. The Sphinx going to battle with the remnants here of the Skin Wolves. Each Sphinx attack should kill a Skin Wolf model outright. It hits hard enough with its big old cleaving scythes there. The Ushapti summon was used to hold back the Norskin Tide. The basic Ushapti plus the Skeleton Spearman doing pretty well, actually, against the Skin Wolf Werekin and this Legion, but it's probably only a matter of time before they get surrounded and killed there. So Cetra is really going to have to put this game on his living back here. And Throg coming in for one last blow. He does actually hit Cetra, but then Cetra rams him, and Throg is down for the count. Yep, Throg got run over. Cetra the Imperishable, or Perishable, or whatever the hell he is now. He serves. He does not serve. He rules. That's what I was trying to say. And Throg is the one who serves, apparently, as he gets run over by that chariot. 2,300. The Necrotect has about 1,000 HP. The big Sphinx is coming back in, but despite Cetra being, you know, healthy-ish, there's still a fair amount of Norskins left. We do have the Balefiend. We also have the Miststalkers, which are really a pain in the ass, and we have the Skin Wolf Werekin, too, as a pretty good anti-large specialist, so we will see. Oh, you're playing Norska here? But I got it mixed up. Damn it, these stupid scorecards are just tricking me, dude. They're just tricking me. So Huron is Norska. I don't know why. I think the replays got, like, jumbled for some reason. Like, maybe, did you guys, like, submit the replays from different sides so it's not from one person's perspective? It could have been that, but anyways. Here comes the Horde. The Tomb King's moving in. Sphinx of Usef is going strong. He's got a nice restore there. That's pretty clutch for sure. Terror Routes could be a factor as well. But the Iceworm Marauders are ITP, they're immune to psychology, as the Miststalkers are as well because they cause terror. So Terror Routes aren't necessarily going to carry the day. Really nice isolation here, though. Getting the Famir Balefiend in open field. If Cetra could be over there as well, but this could backfire as the Skin Wolf Werekin is going to be coming in and potentially karate chopping this guy. There it is. Yeah, big old attack right there. The Necrotect is... Oh, man, he's getting clawed good by that Condom Wolf. Look at that, man. The Chariot's just going down so freaking hard. And here the Sphinx and Cetra making their valiant last stand. We will see. Throg got run over. He did, for sure. Just like the time Grandma got run over by that reindeer, says Professor Bone. Oh my god. So Cetra trying his best here. There still is a big, scary Sphinx. It looks like it's probably going to be a Tomb King victory as the Ushapti are cleaning up here. And yeah, I guess the Balefiend isn't going to be enough. Cetra is steady. He's close to breaking, but not enough. And that is going to be a victory for the Tomb Kings. So let's go ahead and update that, man. So let's see how much damage Cetra the Living did. Yeah, 3,000 on Cetra, Chariot Cetra. That's really solid. Damn. These little Chariot buddies did okay. The Big Sphinx, 2,400. Ushapti, respectively, did okay. 700. One of them kind of got crumped, but they did fine. They held back the Berserkers. Throg, 1,600. Werekin did okay. The little Berserkers kind of tried to claw their way in. I love the Haggard Miststalker flank. It brings me so much joy. Perhaps more throwing axes. Really, really good against all these different, elements in the army. They're all your replays? Okay. So you should be on the right side now, so I think it should be okay. All right. So let's do it to it. I will get it right this time. We got a 1-1 series, baby. He's alive. I know. It was a great game. That was a really fun match. Living Cetra on the Chariot is no joke. And now, my friends, let us go ahead and load on to the next game between Huron, Papa of Turin, and Croissantbert. Game 3 is going to be Croissantbert on the High Elves and Huron on the Warriors of Chaos. A matchup I feel like we always see this one. I feel like it's so common. Nothing's wrong with Throg. Throg is a good lord. All right. So we got some donations coming in. I missed them during the game. I'm sorry. So let me get to those. We have one from Vinand. Winand with $6. Thank you so much. Team Haggard all the way. Pure gold. Hell yeah, man. Team Haggard is going to take that tournament. You guys just wait. We're gonna clean shop. Flying Potator. Thank you for the $5. He says, how well would The Vampire Mermaid. How would the Vampire Mermaid perform here compared to Luther Harkin? She's pretty good. Solastra, although I think Luther is probably still the way. Or even better, Flying Potato is Count Noctilus on foot. That's probably one of the stronger choices there. Luther isn't bad, though. Luther's really strong there, too. Luther and Foot Noctilus are probably the two optimal choices. And then a donation from Gallahan during that game. Fireball to the face, tree to the face, axes to the face, being alive to the face, Cetra ain't getting no breaks today. Not at all, Gallahan. This is a no mercy stream here. Yeah, you don't see melee who shop you too often. You really don't. All right, so let us load into the battle here. It's going to be Huron on the Warriors of Chaos, facing off against Chrysantbert and his dreaded High Elves. So for Chaos, we have Chaos Marauders with Grey Opens on. Nice to mix a couple in, just in case you face, what are those things called? White Lions or even Silvern Guard. We got the Mirror Guard in the back, the Soul of Damnation, which if you guys are going to be using a Hell Cannon, I would highly recommend using this giant phallic, dreaded ball sack back here. But basically, it has 40 ammunition, whereas regular Hell Cannons only have 25. So bringing the Soul of Damnation, I think, is always the best choice. It only costs 100 more, and it really makes, or 300 more, and it makes a really big difference. A double Dragon Ogre plus Sartorial the Ever Chicken, and a metric shit ton of Marauder Horsemen. Pretty cool build here from Chaos. I dig it, man. So let's go ahead and see what's cracking. And now for the High Elves, we got Reaver Archers. We have a little bit of a Forest Legion here. So double Swordmaster of Hoeth. Interesting. Definitely big target fodder for that Hell Cannon. Couple Spearmen, Rangers in the back. It's going to be double Dragon Prince with a Metal Caster with Final Transmutation and the Dreadlord of the Vuvuzela himself, Imric. So he does have the Dragon Horn, which is pretty fun with Dragon Princes and things like that. So let's see how this battle unfolds, my friends. Once again, welcome. Yeah. The dreaded ballsack, yeah. Do you think Captain Jack Sparrow while being in the undead curse form is good? That's a questionable pick, Pone, I would say, at the very least. I was going to do a Deathmaster game next. Might try him out. Deathmaster's really strong. A little bit of a glass cannon, but if you can get your micro on point, Deathmaster can be really scary. Yeah. He can be really scary for sure. So right now, some light skirmishing. We'll do a little bit of fast forwarding as the players kind of feel one another out and discover the positions their opponents are in. Nice Reaver harass, though. Shooting the very lightly armored Chaos Marauders is certainly a feel-good thing. And here you can see the Reaver Cav are now going to be going after the Warhounds of Huron, who are trying to run. How fast are they? 95 speed against, I think, 90 speed on their Reaver, so they should be able to get away. On top of that, the Dragon Ogre Shaggots have come in. And for Huron, I think avoiding the main engagement for as long as possible, using the Hell Cannons to blast the Swordmasters, really is going to be his recipe for success. Otherwise, the Swordmasters could potentially trade very well versus infantry. Granted, Shaggots won't do bad there either. No, oh no, oh, not like this. All right, let's pause it for a sec. What do you guys think is going to happen right here? I haven't seen this replay. I have a feeling there's going to be a huge erect Final Transmutation, which is going to hit double Prince, Caster, and Imric. Let's see if my prediction is correct. It really should happen, though. Yeah. Oh God, here it comes. And oh, is it overcasted? It is. Oh, it hits both princes. It nails Imric. It nails the frickin' mage. Oh, I saw that coming, man. Imric straight up dead. He is dead. D-E-D. Dead. And then there's a response, a Plague of Rust, but there's like, oh my God, that was so painful. Look at the balance of power. That just, man, oh, that hurts so bad. That hurts so bad. Big oof. You know, it's something I would do too. You know, it happens to the best of us. Chaos Marauders and Marauders piling in, and Hell Cannon blasting away here at the Swordmasters of Hoeth. That big old Final Transmutation was really nasty. Imric is dead. The Dragon Princes even took some of it. The Metal Caster is dead, and now these triple big Chaos Monsters are just going to pound town on the remnants of these High Elf forces. As, yeah, Imric's running, the Lion Chariots are running. It looks like there is a response. Look at that response from the High Elves and overcasted Final Transmutation as well, but Big Bird has pretty good magic resist. That's not going to be as punishing, and yeah, that's a rough one for sure. In the back, some Chaos Warhounds have been forced to engage to save the Hell Cannon because there's not any other Chaos Hell back here, and you know the High Elves are doing very well in the big engagement there. And yeah, Imric is running off the battlefield. I think he's gone. Yeah, his Vuvuzela will not be sounded again here on this stream. However, if the High Elves could actually break the Dragon Ogres here and perhaps chase them off, that would be a way they could maybe get back in the game. But so far, Warp Chicken and his Ogre Goon Squad here are doing very well. And yeah, obviously taking a lot of damage in the process, but getting their money back, to say the least. Now, Chaos is losing the infantry fight pretty heavily. Swordmaster is now moving in. The Hell Cannon, pretty much a doomed prospect back there. That thing is not going to be coming back. And that is a definitely a very feel-good situation. When you got the warp chicken and somebody blobs up on you and you just drop that fat base, that can be pretty much all you wrote, man. Hell certainly got the business there. So the spearmen, the last thing of the High Elves really holding in this pocket of the battlefield, are doing their thing, while Huron does his best chasing down all the Dragon Princes and also getting the Mage of Metal. Certainly be a good play. But here comes the Dawi. The Chaos Dwarf DLC is here, and they're getting wrecked by the High Elves apparently. You can see the Chaos Dawi running for the hills. So funny. Look at the little hats they have. But the Swordmasters of Hoeth should be able to beat these Chaos Dwarves despite the power creep that has come with their DLC. And the Soul of Damnation will fight to the bitter end at the very least. They are unbreakable. High Elves doing a great job staying in this game despite the fact that they got nuked so hard in the beginning. So here comes Sarthoriel, the big bird. He's jumping in, gets a nice blow there on that Mage of Metal. And the other Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, no, Plague of Rust is quite a nice combo. It helps the Dragon Princes do a lot of damage, but the other Shaggoths should be able to buckle these guys off. Now, Swordmasters will do okay, but Warp Chicken plus double Shaggoths just cycle charging the elite Great Weapon Infantry is going to be pretty bad for them. And Chaos still has a ton of Horsemen too. You can see they have a pretty healthy core of Marauder Horsemen, which are more than capable of chasing things off the battlefield. Mirror Guard also, yeah, still alive too, which is really nice. Soul of Damnation is down for the count though. Balance of Power is getting more and more Chaos favored at this point. I am, you know, I'm going to save the Sarthorial value train for the end of the game so we can see that. The Mage of Metal trying its best to come back. I have to say, very well played to Croissantbert here. Despite having a really rough play, he's done a good job scrapping and trying to finish off these Dragon Ogres wherever he can. But man, oh man, it's going to be tough. These Swordmasters probably going to get hammered pretty good. They're already wavering, actually. They're at -15, so yeah, they're going to get broken and rode down by those Marauder Horsemen. And pretty much all he has left right now are the Swordmasters here and some Rangers across the battlefield. So we'll do a little bit of fast forwarding because it's more or less just kind of chasing at this point. And, you know, the scary thing is I'm sure the chicken has another final transmutation. So what he's going to do here, I would guess, I would wager, is that he's going to form another blob fight and then maybe just get another final transmutation on the Swordmasters, which will probably be enough to finish the deal. So here it comes. The Dragon Ogres piling in. Swordmasters, well, you know, they have good stats, but their damage output isn't that crazy against, like, monsters. So here comes another overcasted final transmutation. Those guys are going to get nuked. And the Dragon Ogre's having a great time, man. Rear charge is coming in. They're still steady, but not for long. And for some reason, Swordmasters aren't immune to psychology. So even though they've like sworn to some oath of silence, and they're supposed to, no, those are Phoenix Guard actually. Swordmasters are. It makes sense that they're, you know, not immune to psychology, I suppose. And that's going to be army losses. A chaos victory coming from that brutal, brutal final transmutation. We got Huron in there. Yeah, he's talking about his tactics, which is great. All right, value ready? Here it comes. 3,600. That's pretty damn good for that Warp Chicken. Shaggoths did great also, beating down a ton of other units, and yeah, that's really the epicenter of that army. Emmerich with a whopping 145. It was a rough one for him, man. He took so much. He lost like half of his, like all of his elite units were in that blob except the Swordmasters, and he just got nailed so hard. It was a valiant effort though, man. Yeah. My wagers are on point. I'll take it. 2-1, guys. So Croissantbert is on the ropes. If he can win the next game, though, we'll be going to a rubber match in Game 5. Ganon, the Soul of Damnation got about 800 value. Not too much. It kind of got taken down, you know, relatively early in the game. So sorry I didn't check it. Let's go ahead and look one more time. Yeah, double check it for you. Yeah, 898. Horsemen always do really good, yeah. Or more or less pay for themselves. Pretty decent. And now we can go back here and get ready for the next match here. Let's do it to it. Thanks again for joining today, guys. It's been a fun stream. I like these replay streams. It's pretty fun. It's like so fluid. And you get way more games, right? Overall. Plus, we have to highlight some of these champions in the Gran Turino League. Their challenge. Here it goes. All right, so game 4 is going to be Croissantbert on Bretonnia and Huron, Papa of Turin on Wood Elves. All right, so we're going to get Durthu. We're going to get some Drika action. All sorts of good stuff here. A drumstick into the nether realm, into another plane of dimensional existence. Yeah. Here it comes. Let's do it to it. The chicken did great, man. He did great. Oh, Huron, you deserve it. These games are really fun. All right. So let's go ahead and jump back in. Let us see if Croissantbert can get back on the board against Huron, Papa of Turin. So for Huron's army, he's got Dryads in the front. He does have the dreaded Drika. I love this. Because I'm trying to remember if this, my build, I think my build against the Bretonnians is a little bit different. Maybe, yeah. I like this, though. I think this is a good build. Dryads will beat, Bretonnian infantry. You do also have Dryka. Dryka is really good against peasant archers because you drop the malevolent summons in their second line and they just start like tearing apart the peasant archers. It's really cost effective. And Dryka herself isn't a bad combatant, too. She can definitely put up a good fight. Double Way Watcher, kind of old school, picking off those elite targets, those paladins, those knights. Also, it's going to be aerial. Now, I like the fact that he brought Soul Stealer and Dwellers Below. Dwellers Below can be a game-winning play against Night Blobs if they don't move, or if they have trebuchets, it can one-shot pretty much any artillery. So, the one thing, though, I would suggest, if you are going aerial against Bretonnia, is to bring Tempest, because oftentimes Bretonnia in this matchup will bring Flying Paladins, or sometimes you'll see Lewin, Alberic, and very occasionally you'll see Pegasus Knights. So I think the Tempest is worth bringing on aerial. But that's, honestly, it's fine if you don't bring it. We got Zotes in the back, Glade Riders, and it looks like in the tree line, we do also have some hidden forces, some Glade Riders, which I like. We'll see if they become dreaded tactical reserves. Could be the case. And for the Bretonnians, the mighty Croissant Bird, we have Peasant Mobs, Men-at-Arms, Mass Peasant Archers, a shit ton of Knights, which is very meta, Paladins, and Enchantress. Pretty cool stuff, man. Now, a little bit risky, though. Only getting 2 Paladins in the sky. If the Wood Elves do go for an Air Force, you can really just lose them outright. So, a little bit risky, but it ended up not being a punishing thing for him here in this game. So, we will see how this goes. So, the Dryads are preparing for battle. They're lining up to battle the Peasant Mobs. So far, the Way Watchers just kind of blasting into pretty much whatever they can see. But you do need to be careful not to spend too much ammo on the Men-at-Arms and Peasant Mobs. Typically, you want to have Way Watchers on manual fire and do it like manually, and you want to be shooting peasant bowmen. That's really the proper target. I mean, killing men-at-arms isn't bad, but in terms of the ammo and the value of the ammo, it's much more efficient to shoot against peasant bowmen and things like that. But we'll see if it really is a big deal. I mean, if it's a Fast and Furious game, it won't matter, but if it does go long, it could be a deciding factor. So now the peasants, or the Way Watchers, are shooting into the archers, which is certainly a very, very good choice. Peasant archers can trade pretty well against much of the Bretonnian roster. In the backfield, though, no heavy cav pressure yet. And oh yeah, the dreaded reserves. The Glade Rider spears are lurking in the distance, preparing to charge. Bretonnia now doing some hammering charges in the front, using the defenders of Fleur-de-Lis and Knights of the Realm to push in, but blobbing them up a little bit. I think maybe going for some big flank overloads, like if the Bretonnian player could grab these cav, come over here, fight the Zotes with the support of 2 Paladins and the Enchantress, you can probably bunker bust the flanks pretty well. But he's opting to go in the front, which isn't necessarily a bad idea. But again, I think there are certainly some openings here. 1 Paladin going to be jumping in, going after the Way Watchers back here. And now the Knights of the Realm getting a nice charge against the Dryads here, able to get some decent damage. Defenders of Fleur-de-Lis, and charge bonus of 58. Certainly can do some decent work. It's pretty funny to imagine like a Bretonnian Knight with like Frenzy or something, Yeah, the Tempest might even be better than Dwellers Below here. I bring Dwellers Below against Skaven quite a bit because their artillery is really punishing. But maybe against Bretonnia, you just bring Tempest instead of Dwellers Below. I think that might be the right way. Yeah, no, it's tricky for sure. I think the Tempest might be better than Dwellers, though, in this matchup. Dwellers can be okay, though, against Bretonnia if they go Trebs and things like that, and if you're doing a rush. Now in the back, Dryka dropping a Malevolent Dryad Summon onto the Peasant Bowman, and in the backfield you can see the Bretonnian Knights, I think, have discovered the Glade Riders kind of lurking in the shadows here, and the double Paladin Goon Squad getting in there and fighting the Enigmas unsupported. A very risky play, especially considering that the Way Watchers could turn around and start blasting them in the face. But there are Knights nearby. We have Knights of the Realm, but Huron is doing a very good job with his spears, kind of keeping them from supporting the Paladins. And now this 1 Paladin could be getting taken to Poundland, as they say in the UK, and maybe going down 1800 HP. He's completely unsupported. And the Way Watcher is still ripping some huge shots into these Bretonnian Knights. But the front line has really fallen into a bit of a disarray for everyone. It's just anarchy all over the battlefield. In the back, the Bretonnian Knights have isolated some overextended Dryads, and might be able to get their value there, but these Glade Riders will also be very good. They could chase down these defenders, they could chase down peasant archers. Having something like that in the late game is like one of the best feelings ever. So now the Wood Elves are trying to move their spears to screen out the Bretonnian charge. The Bretonnians really need to get back here and shut down these Way Watchers, though, and it looks like they're finally going to get something on top of them, as the Knights of the Lionhearted do intercept here. Paladins also engage in Enchantress. This is what Bretonnia needs, because now the Enchantress Mortis Engine effect is in play. It's going to be hitting all the Eternal Guard here, probably. It will hit the Way Watchers. And you can see the balance of power does go right back to the middle after those Way Watchers are shut down. But will Enchantress and the Paladins be able to trade with the Enigmas? That's certainly going to be a very, very important play. Nice Flesh to Stone, because most of the Bretonnian Knights here do severely lack armor piercing, so the Flesh to Stone puts them up to a pretty massive amount. And in the back, we got some pretty healthy Knights, actually. Those guys could certainly get involved. A couple Peasant Bowmen need to move back in and start shooting again. Dryads are still doing good, you know, fighting across the battlefield and chasing down peasant archers where they can. But now Dryka is back here, and the Bretonnian push has kind of been countered a bit. Granted, the Way Watchers did pay the price, so I would certainly say that's probably worth it for Bretonnia. You can see both of the Way Watchers are going to be running, and, you know, Wood Elves still have a very scary core. Dryka, Aerial, you know, ROR, Zotes, and Spears, that's going to be a tough pocket of dudes to break, or dudettes, or, you know, whatever the hell Aerial is. And, like a god or something. Who knows? Is Aerial a god or like a demigod? I don't even know. What's her lore? So, Fey Enchantress going to be pulling back here. Running from this, which is smart. Bretonnia got its value. They took their tithe. And now the Peasant Bowmen going to be shooting into the blob once again. And, yeah, there's still some really healthy knights. Bretonnia still certainly has the tools to chase down those Way Watchers. Not that they really need to, but this is smart. Bretonnia just, you know, get the crossfire with the Peasant Archers, try and pull apart the Wood Elf army that's far less mobile. Fey Enchantress is still healthy. I don't know if the Paladins are in good shape. It looks like one Paladin is here. I think the other one might have died in that blob to the Enigmas, which could potentially be something that will cost him the game. The Poundland joke got you in the stitches. Dude, when I was in Horsham, doing the Everchosen with Creative Assembly, and Italian Spartacus and I were walking in downtown Horsham, and we saw a store called Poundland, and we both just started like dying of laughter. We're like, hey bro, you want me to take you to Poundland? You know, it's like, oh, it was so funny. I don't know why, it just got me so good, man. So Balance Fire is pretty close. Bretonnia certainly, if it can rally its forces, maybe maximize the efficiency of these Peasant Bowmen and cycle charge the Wood Elves while they're kind of marching around. That could be a huge way for them to get back in the game. They still have a full health unit of Knights of the Realm, which could finish off the Enigmas with a proper charge. Ariel is a demigoddess. Okay, she's the incantation of Isha. All right, that makes sense. Pretty scary, for sure. She's got some powerful eyebrows. That is for sure. Eternal Guard moving in, unshielded. The Peasant Bowmen unleashing salvos of fire into the Enigmas. And hey, man, every ounce of damage counts. A nice Acorn to the Ages right there. It forces the peasants to scatter at the very least. And to the back, good play from Bretonnia as well. They catch some Dryads kind of unprotected and might even be able to break him with a full charge there from the Knights of the Realm. But now it looks like the Peasant Archers are being hunted down, and these Knights Errant are going to be paying the ultimate price. The Dryads definitely need to be broken. Fey Enchantress and some other Knights are going to be moving in, while the Paladin, I think, is going to be going, chasing something. Man, another unit of Knights of the Realm. Bretonnia still has a lot of Knights here, guys. This could really, really go either way. If only he had kept that other Paladin alive, this would be like a razor thin game. Like I said, I've said them, yeah, you guys have made the Poundland jokes too. I know. It's so good. So here it comes. Shots coming in from the Peasant Bowmen. Once again into the unshielded Eternal Guard. It's pretty good value. These Peasant Bowmen may come back as well. Fey Enchantress has got to be careful on that Unicorn. You know what could be strong here would be a big blob from Bretonnia, like a surround with all the Knights and a sandwich. It'd probably break the Zotes pretty quickly, but you got to watch out. If Ariel has a Soul Stealer, you could just straight up lose the game on that play. So here they come. The blob is going to be happening. Fey Enchantress needs to get in there ASAP. Oh, God, is that a Soul Stealer? Oh, it is. But very well played by the Bretonnians there to get out before the Soul Stealer really hit both units, because it only hit this one Knight, which is a really good, great micro there. That was solid. So now you know you can go in safely, but you need to make sure the Fey Enchantress goes in with all the Knights so that you get that proper drain. And here comes more firepower coming in from those accursed Peasant Bowmen. The Knights of the Realm going to be getting a good charge here. Ooh, nice Malevolent Dryad summon there from Dryka. Knights of the Realm getting a great charge into the back of the Zotes, but they are buffed up by Flesh to Stone. Knights of the Lionhearted coming in, but the Malevolent Dryads might be the game changer here. Yeah. So glad Turn didn't see Pound Stretcher. If Poundland made him giggle, there's one called Pound Stretcher, really? Oh my god. That's so good. And then Lich109 says, Turn, if you think Poundland is hilarious, you should look up this chocolate store in Germany called Super Dickmans. Oh my god, that's pretty good. So the battle rage is on here. Knights of the Realm are still somewhat numerous, but Ariel, of course, is going to be a problem. And the Malevolent Dryads here are proving to be a huge issue. Giving this, you know, durable, well, not even durable, but, you know, present, numerous, 69 of them. Oh man, serious business. But giving a presence for those Knights of the Realm to be stuck on. The Enigmas are broken. I mean, if you really look at the Bretonnian army, yeah, these Knights should be able to get back. Those other Knights should rally, although, man, they took some big damage. And Peasant Bowmen are coming back. I mean, really, it's not beyond the realm of possibility. But the big concern is I don't know what can kill Dryka. Dryka would be a little bit weak against Paladin cycle charging, but aside from that, Paladin probably isn't in the best of shape here. Yeah, so here comes the Paladin retreating. Peasant Bowmen have a lot of ammo over there. They have 30 models and a fair amount. The Enigmas of Giron are taken out by the Knights of the Lionhearted, so those Zotes are down for the count. And here comes the Peasant Bowman Fire. Really good scrapping here. The Arwar, or the, not Arwar, but the Dryad summons from Dryka are gone, and I believe she's used both of them. Now the Knights of Bretonnia, if they get a good surround on the Eternal Guard, they could probably break their leadership. But then again, you have to deal with Dryka plus Ariel, which is nasty. Really, really good heal right there. Able to heal up the Knights of the Realm and all those guys there. Also hits the Paladin, if I'm not mistaken. So now it's time. The Incantation of Aisha, going to be moving in. And things are getting pretty serious. Here it comes. The Knights moving in a dreaded Mighty Duck formation, the Flying V. And they're going to be hammering in. Enchantress has to get involved now. The Mortis Engine, in fact, will really help break them much quicker. Oh, but look at this. Huron actually has the dreaded reserve of Glade Riders. Oh, that could be pretty big. Paladin's actually chasing them down. And, yeah, the Eternal Guard are getting broken, but... Oh, no, a Soul Stealer! Oh, God! Anakin, I'm too weak! It hit a bunch of the Cav units there. Oh, the Soul Stealer. Nice play there. Nice play. That's pretty good. And now the Glade Riders with Spears are going to be a problem. There's so many of them, they can probably defeat many of these Bretonnian Knights in combat. Balance of Power is still pretty damn even, though. Enchantress staying in combat here is certainly good. It's giving a constant draining effect. There's also Peasant Archers coming back. Now the Bretonnian Knights are trying to finish off the Glade Riders, which I think is a good play. Because those guys are going to be an unholy pain. Just probably keep pathing after them. Enchantress Drain is getting there, man. Paladin's moving in as well. And down goes the Peasant Bowman to the back to the Glade Rider reserve. These Knights of the Realm are broken. These ones are still fighting with the favor of the Fae. But now the Eternal Guard are starting to really suffer the attrition of the Fae Enchantress. As the second unit is not quite on death's bed, but probably on their way out here. But the Glade Rider reserve, man, oh man. The Flying V, the Mighty Ducks, man. Emilio Estevez, the Mighty Ducks, man. You guys remember that movie? I was about to say Talladega Nights, but A Night at the Roxbury. When I was a kid, that was probably my favorite movie. That was the first time I heard the song What Is Love by Hathaway, and I remember just bumping that when I was a kid. So good. Anyways, Dryka's still fighting. Fae Enchantress and her having a mighty fierce battle. But I think Ariel is going to be able to carry this. Like, she is, you know, Ariel's no slouch in combat. She's got 450 weapon strength, and granted, her magic damage will be mitigated by the Fae Enchantress. Now, more or less, the spears are almost gone, but the fact that Huron has the Glade Riders is huge, because, like, it can prevent the rallying of all these Bretonnian forces. And now the spears are broken. Now we got a monster fight, basically. Like, the Wood Elves have a couple spears and Glade Riders, but I don't think Fae Enchantress... Like, Dryka is a combat character, right? Dryka will hit very, very hard against Fae. And also, if Dryka gets damaged, she also gives a buff to nearby allies. And yeah, the Glade Riders come in for the Alpha Strike, and that is going to be victory for the Wood Elves. Oh, man. What's up, Rubber Duck? How you doing, man? How you doing? Yes, yes. A glorious battle indeed. Well fought to both players. A beautiful scrap, man. Yeah. Oh, it's alright. The stream, we have the dreaded FFA to close things out. So, yeah, Dryka's summons were super clutch. Ariel, 2,700. The Enigma's got 2,500. Holy shit. Those freaking Zotes really did well. Way Watchers did okay, too. They kind of got shut down. Croissant Bird did a good job of that, but, yeah. Zotes, Ariel... They did well, and yeah, it was a great build by Croissant. I think if the Paladin hadn't been caught in that ugly fight in the backfield, he would have had a good chance, I think. It was a great battle, man. Well played. Well played indeed. So that is a 3-1 victory for Huron Papa of Turin. That is going to be the best of 5 for today. And now, my friends, if you're hyped and ready to go for a big old FFA battle to close things out, come and join the party. I'm going to be doing just one today. It's going to be called Turin FFA, and the password is going to be 123. Aledron, kudos for the great series to Huron. Yeah, him and Croissant both played really well. It was a great match. So now, come and join. First come, first serve. We're just doing one today because I have some other stuff I needed to take care of after this, but let's do this and jump in. Well played. Well played indeed. Tactical reserves are OP, dude. It was a great game. It was a great game. So we got the old one. Yeah, Ariel Dryka is a pretty good combo for sure. Orion's really good in that matchup. They're both great. If you were a Warhammer 40k character, what weapon would you wield? Oh, I don't know, man. I mean, does it have to be something like in like carry as my physical self? I know, CIA level password. All right. Do a little troll country. I'm feeling like a real aggressive battle here. Hey, Mark, you're welcome, man. Well played to you, and thanks for playing in the league, dude. Alright, the Condom Wolf is here. We got 2 spots left. See if they fill up. We got the Fallen God. We got the Old One. We got a lot of thematic business going on here. Some delicious stuff. The password is 123. Grom and the Pump Gang. Oh, and Professor Pone, the Hot Dog King himself. Oh, Pone is here. Professor Pone. Alright, he's going Skaven. Okay. What do you guys want to see? Is there anything you really want to see? I don't want to play Coast. We already have a Coast player. I play Empire all the time. I feel like I need to mix it up. We could go with Vampire Counts. You guys want some counts? Let's do the counts. Alright. Let's do it to it. This is going to be fun. The Gortys engine. Do I feel like Space Marine material? Well, you know, not with my current hand situation. Alright. Vampire Counts will be fun. I'm hyped for this. You know, it would be really funny if I just like brought a bunch of Sylvanian handgunners. Oh my god, that'd be hilarious. Somebody earlier really wanted to see Vlad in FFA, so I think we'll do Vlad. Even though, like, you know, you're missing out on the mobility of the Vampire Lords, it's still fine. So we're gonna bring Vlad, but that's pretty much all we're getting. You guys want? Come on, you don't want Vlad? Oh my god, everybody's saying something different. There's like no way for me to choose here. Dwarves or Bretonia? We already have a Bretonia, so that's kind of out of the picture. And dwarves, I don't feel like camping or like having to chase for points. Yeah, so we already have Bretonia. You guys are getting your Bretonia still. So we got Vlad the Dad. He's got all his items. He's ready. What are we facing? Bretonians and Skaven Coast. Okay. Let's see. 3 Mortis engines, not just 1, but 3. Oh, dude. Triple Mortis engine, baby. Vlad is going to have a pretty cool little contingent here. A little Scab Scraith action. You guys like the Vlad. Come on, Vlad the Dad. How can you not want Vlad? He's such a dude. Probably get rid of that. We keep the leadership debuff. It's fine. All right, so Skaven. Oh man, Skaven freaking. That's probably fine. Bretonia is going to be a bit of a problem potentially. Okay, that's enough single entities for now. And now we probably want to just run some skeletons. Plus, I don't know, what else do we want? Do we need Fellbats for any reason? No, not really. I mean, he could have deck droppers. Maybe getting a couple Fellbats could be fine. Eric, that's pretty funny. Huh. We can see that you were lying? No, man, I'm not. Oh, maybe you're talking to someone else in chat. I was like, I got Vlad here. He's here. Some Crypt Ghouls, maybe. Crypt Ghouls are pretty good against Coast, decent against Skaven, not bad against Bretonia, so maybe a couple Crypt Ghouls to kind of nibble on things. And then from here, a couple Skeleton Spears to just round out my army, I think should be fine. Vlad's got all his items. He's freaking ready, dude. I always feel like the Blood Drinker is a little bit much, considering he already has the hunger, but I guess it's fun. All right, let's party. Let's do it. All bats and dogs. Yeah. Mgart says you can't cheer for me when there's a Skaven player. I know, especially when that Skaven player is as awesome as Professor Pone. If I were to get a Warhammer tattoo, what would it be? 100% it would be a tattoo of Galmaraz. Yeah. Like the hammer. That would be so freaking badass. Like the original vintage Warhammer logo hammer. Hell yeah, dude. Probably Galmaraz, yeah. I have an Empire army in tabletop. Empire is probably my favorite faction to play in multiplayer too. So, yeah. Oh man. I know, we gotta bring the Blood Drinker. Is multiplayer region locked? No, but sometimes there's weird issues with lobbies where you can't see lobbies if like, I don't know, it's so strange. Alright. What's great about Vampire Counts in FFA is like, even if people swarm you, it's like you're usually fine. Yeah. You're not gonna like mass break and run from being surrounded and shit. Potatoes, boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. All right, one sec. We're doing it, man. One sec, guys. Perfect. You're all set. Life's good, man. All right, let's do it. The blocker should be gone. Sorry, I just had a couple little things I had to respond to real quick. All right, so we have Bretonnians over there. I have a pretty fun build. You guys are going to dig it. Got little crypt ghouls, little golems lurking in here as well. Their little feasting claws. Got some skeleton spears to buffer in case I get swarmed by cavalry. Vlad is going to be here with his double white kings, both of which have scab scraith. And we got 2 black coaches and double blood knights. Yes, give it to us, precious. Should be fun. Blood Knight's definitely pretty good against a number of threats here. I just want to avoid Vampire Coast. So we got Bretonnia here. You know, though, Vampire Coast might... It depends on what he brings. I don't know. We'll feel it out. So we'll let the player set up, and then we'll do it to it. When are you going to create more in-depth faction guides? I don't know when. Probably when Game 3 comes out. Because, like, it's going to be annoying to do a faction guide, and then, like, all these new matchups come in Game 3. So, like, when Game 3 launches, I'll probably do a faction guide for, like, a lot of the old factions, and including the new ones, where it tells you about, like, every single matchup and all that sort of good stuff. Yeah. I love potatoes. Potatoes is probably... Like, and right, like potatoes and rice as far as like core foods. Oh, it's so good. No Winds of Death. No, not this time. Vlad's just getting straight down to business here, so we'll see. It's, oh, hell yeah, Vlad's here, dude. Can you pretend the Blood Knights are puppies? Well, you know, to each their own, man. If you want to, I'm all supportive of that. All right, so let's look at the armies first. Bretonnia, kind of a messy fight there. Coast seems a little bit more cozy to fight. Oh my god, where the hell... Oh my god, Professor Pone went with Mass Eschen. So we're going to go after the coast here, because they're a little bit vulnerable on the flank. Although, look at all the guns they have. Holy shit. Okay, well, I might take a lot of damage on the approach. Okay, the Bretonnians are coming for me, so never mind. I'm going to go fight the Bretonnians. Because, oh my god, look, the Skaven are appearing! Oh, those are the clones for sure. Those are fake. Look, Eschen, the Mass Eschen Vanguard. Yeah, okay. My army might not be that good against Bretonnia. It's going to be hard. Well, we'll see what we can do. The problem is that Pone is going to get so many points here. Sandwiching these guys would be cool and all, but then the thing is, I'll let him have a good proper one-on-one fight. I know what it feels like to be sandwiched in FFA, so I'm going to just go fight the Bretonnians here. What do they have? Knights of the Realm. They have Battle Pilgrims. It looks like Henri Le Massif. A Trebuchet as well. Pretty badass army. Yeah, look at this just haggard fight of the gods over here. Just this mass Eschen force from Pone. Oh my god. Yeah, Wheel of Fortune tourney. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll do that this week. That sounds like a fun idea. I was kind of like trying to think of what I wanted to do this week, so yeah, we'll see. 4 and then 3. Okay, boom, boom. Henri Le Massif is coming. Sorry about the lag, guys. It should subside in a minute. It's honestly not that bad. Pone is not AFK. No, he's not. He's flanking that force pretty hard. All right, so we got a couple options here. Let's get some little golems going. If he's going to push out that way, we can definitely take advantage of that. So let's also send in the black coaches to start doing their thing here, and we get Vlad to go blob up on those guys. And yeah, this should be pretty bad for him here with double Blood Knight going after those Knights of the Realm here. Some sort of witchcraft is being used, so let's kind of pull in here, get the spears kind of defending, and now we can push right up the pipe here. Yes, black coaches, go, my precious. Great, so we're sending the Crypt Ghouls to apply poison to his knights. Yeah, that should be fine. All right. So Vlad is in here. We can drop a zombie summon, but we don't need to. The black coaches are doing great work. Let's get you in here. Let's get you in here. Get double white kings, and now we can go ahead and do a scab scraith right down the pipe. Should hit his blob. And those knights should more or less be wrecked. Yeah, we'll keep going there. Those blood knights will get those ones off the battlefield. And yeah, I think we're okay. Another scab scraith we can use. right down the line of this infantry formation. Yeah, that's the good shit right there. Check this out, guys. That's going to do a ton of damage. Oh, that's so good and tasty. Oh, give it to us, precious. All right, let's pull these skeleton spears back. I think, do we have any crypt ghouls over here? We do, so we can pull these crypt ghouls to fight the foot squires. And we can actually surround them. And the Blood Knights have more or less won their respective fights. We can pull these crypt ghouls around the back here, continue chasing those guys off. Now Vlad is being attacked by Henri le Massif. So, do we use the Von Karsten ring? Yeah, sure, why not? Let's pop it. I keep forgetting it's not, like, limited now. Like, we can keep using it. Alright, so let's keep you whites moving in there. We're getting some good old points here. The Blood Knights have won their matches respectively. And Vlad is hopefully able to get some good trading here. Let's get this Black Coach in. And is there anything we want to push back here after? Yeah, it's hard to say. Alright, so let's go ahead and flank here. Skeleton Spears can move, and we can just have you guys set up like so. Great, so we finally caught those guys. I think he's got a Treb back here too. We can send little golems to go get the Trebuchet. Yeah, and Henri le Massif is now starting to take some big damage. I have some healing, but I don't think I need to use it yet. I mainly want to save it and be really efficient with my Blood Knights. Yeah, cool. How's this all going? Yeah, Scab's Grates will be off cooldown soonish. How are the Black Coaches doing? Okay, Black Coach. We need to get the Black Coaches ramming into this like massive infantry here. Vlad is trading well in his duel, which is I'm very happy to see. Oh, Raponce is here though. Ooh, Raponce. Ugh, we need some help. So I need to pull some Blood Knights probably from some engagement and bring them over to help against your girl Raponce. Alright, here we go. Give him the business, come on. Block him in with the Black Coach. We have the two white characters. Let's see if we can go here. And yeah, man, there's some juicy blobs of troops here that we could potentially hammer. These Blood Knights can go after those Questing Knights here, and we got those guys off the battlefield. So now the Blood Knights can thunder in and hopefully do some pretty lethal damage. Alright, Black Coaches, you guys just go after Henry. Vlad, move in there. You guys all move in onto those Questing Knights. It's weird, there was no lag in the lobby. Sometimes you can tell, but it's honestly not that bad. So the Black Coaches are pretty damaged here, so this is going to be a good invo. It'll heal, you know, more or less all my single entities, which is exactly what you want. This Black Coach can kind of peel over there. And now we got the Blood Knights coming in the back here. They're going to just start wrecking shop. Yeah, cool. So those spears will buckle in a matter of seconds. These guys are going to intercept the Questing Knights to prevent a surround, and we can also drop a summon on top of them if we want to. This coach needs to get out of here. Okay, Henry's getting whooped on, which is great. I have no idea how that other battle's going. Let's go look for a second. Yeah, okay, it's still going. It's like Clan Eshin, Mass Vanguard. Shit's getting wild. Alright, so yeah, we're breaking through here. The Blood Knights are killing shit. Probably go kill that Trebuchet. I'm tired of it. It's gonna get way too many kills. Yeah, good. The Questing Knights are dying. And Raponce is trying to get on top of the Black Coach, which I really want to keep alive if I can. Let's actually pull the Black Coach into the Blood Knights there, so then if she chases, I can hopefully get the Blood Knights to really finish the job. Alright, he's landed. Perfection. Black Coach can fight now. We could drop a summon right here, so I'm going to do this. I have a ton of summons. I've been really conservative. Scab's Graith. Let's go do this. And then the other one can do a Scab's Graith right down the other side. Should be able to finish those guys off. Now the Blood Knights and Henri le Massif. Let's go ahead and pile in and see if we can take out that big boy. It's funny because he's like smaller than Raponce when they stand side by side. Okay, Blood Knights. Can we go back there and finish those off, please? Looks great. Looks good. Yeah, buddy. I know, it's basically two 1v1s with the winners scrapping it out. That sometimes happens. I thought about sandwiching Vampire Coast, but I didn't want to get sandwiched myself on top of all that. Okay, Bertoni is more or less breaking now. Our Black Coach was able to get away, and Henry is trapped amongst the Blood Knights. Once this is over, we go and do battle here. You know, I kind of want to send the Black Coaches over there right now. Like, I don't feel like I need him here anymore. Let's see if we could, like, get them out. That'd be fun. Yeah, because Raponce is going to pay the troll toll now. She's, like, going to be fully surrounded by Vlad and all my pimpin' monsters here. Cool. So the Treb is shattered, which is good. We can go ahead and go after these knights that are on their way back. Come on. Arcane Conduit. And, I hate when that happens. Alright, let's go ahead and hit this shit. Drop the base, baby. Got the Master Beguilement. You've been beguiled by a smooth criminal. You've been beguiled by a smooth criminal. Alright, let's go here. These Blood Knights are about to finish off Henry. Pone's getting a lot of points, though. It looks like he's winning against Coast. Yeah, the dreaded Eshin. My army's pretty healthy, though. It's going to be pretty tough for him to win, I think. So what we're going to do is we're going to go sabotage Pone. We're going to, like, send the black coaches to run through his shit. So Vlad can do a single target invo on that black coach as it rides into the sunset. These Blood Knights should be able to get in there and rear charge and seal the deal. Skeleton Spears can move in too. You guys can go there. Henry is more or less dead, which is good. You don't want to let him get away. Although, is he shattered? No, he's not shattered. I don't want him coming back. Rapunzel doing her fancy sword attacks, but I think the 3 White Kings should be able to get her. We have to go attack Pone. We have to support the last of the Vampire Coast, so then it makes it harder for Pone to catch me. Okay, 400. Henry's about broken. You guys can go here. You guys can go here. Now the Blood Knights have made it in and rear charged. Man, Rapunzel's doing a great job against this White King, though. Holy shit. This reminds me of that FFA I played against Falcon, where Rapunzel like soloed like my whole army. All right. Oh, you know what? Vampire Coast might not have enough to support still. We'll get in there and try. Rapunzel's gotten away. Blood Knights have finished off the Questing Knights here. And Henri Le Massif has almost been escorted off the battlefield. And the last of the Bretonians will pay the troll toll. Oh no, Rapunzel is broken into open field. She wants to go after my black coach. Vlad, there's no way Vlad can keep up with her too. Alright, that's fine. Oh no, Professor Pone is getting so many points. Oh no, the coast is dead. Okay, abandon ship. Abandon ship. It's all lost. Alright, so let's just get as many points as we can from this Bretonian army first. Yeah, okay. I thought Coast might still be alive by the time I got there, but it wasn't the case. We have some Blood Knights we need to bounce out and go after her. So let's see if we can, like, distract her for a second. And all the infantry can just keep doing their thing. It's fine. White King can move over there too. Vlad has regen and hunger. That's correct. He's a tough boy to bring down. So what we do here is we go for Rapunzel with all of our black coaches. Vlad can drop a heal from downtown, although I kind of want to save my Winds of Magic for the final battle. I guess we can use it if I can reach. Can I? Not quite. But the Blood Knights are coming, so if Rapunzel stays in combat too long, the Blood Knights will get her good. Let's move over there. You guys can move here now. Yeah, you better run, Rapunzel. The Knights of Red Keep are coming. I know, the Dreadlord Pone. I don't know how healthy his army is. I have a feeling I should be able to beat it, though. Yeah, Deathmaster's on death's bed. As long as I get Last Man Standing and get some points from him. No, the rats. No, don't give the points to Pone. Give them to me. I don't want to overchase, though. He still has a lot of ammo. Okay, the Bretonians are coming back for round 2, so we'll come and get some points here. Hammer those battle pilgrims. Okay, Rapunzel's... Damn, Pone got the points for Rapunzel. Curses. Yeah, at least he's using a lot of his ammo, too. Okay. Looks like they're out now. Alright, so we're moving in. We're bumping and grinding. I'm going to save the Scab Scrates for the Skaven. I need to get some fat heals. I'll probably grab the Black Coach and the Blood Knights, because you can only heal 4 in total. So yeah, let's just get as much damage as we can here. The ship is sunken. GG. To our coast player there. Looks like that's going to be army losses for the Bretonians. So we need to get all of our 4 SEMs we want to heal and put them like right here. Yeah, like right there. That'll be good. And then we can get the big juicy invo to end all invocations. Okay, I have no idea where Pone went. I have no idea. Yeah, we'll get the info there. Okay. The Skaven have disappeared. Very lore friendly. Yeah, this is going to be a nice one right here. Oh yeah, give it to me, precious. Oh, nice info. Resurrecting Blood Knight models feel so good. Oh, okay. Well, let's move up. Let's go rat hunting. It's hunting season. Hunting season, Pwn. Oh no, my black coach is getting focused. Come and get some rats. Okay, 2 and 3. That black coach is taking it like a champ. Oh, dude. Oh, this is gonna be good. Once those knights get in there. Holy shit, I don't think he has anything to fight. Oh, he's got some Guando rats, actually. Never mind, he's got some dudes. But what we'll do is we'll charge and we'll use Master Beguilement on the Triads. Yeah, that's fine. We can just fight these Death Runners. So we'll charge in, and then we're gonna drop a zombie summon like right on top of this. Pull these guys back. White Kings can engage too. All right. Pwn's getting so many points though. It's you know, he might still win. I don't know if I'm gonna get enough points from. I'm pretty sure I'll win the fight, but yeah, I don't know if I'll have enough points to actually like get it in the end. All right, so we'll get the black coaches here. Blood Knights can come around the back and prepare to sandwich. Scab's Scraith. Oh yeah, let's do that. Oh, he's going after Vlad. That's what the dreaded Von Karstein ring is for. See how this goes. All right, pull you back there. And these knights can start pushing into those gutter runners. All right, looks like Deathmaster is dead. He did the Whirl of Weeping Blades though. We need to get as many points as possible. Okay, those guys are being farmed. It's good. Oh, are we gonna get enough points? It's close. It's close. Go get those gutter runners here. Is it gutter runner slingers? Oh my god, you got so much shit. And now the White King can go chase you. Chase you. Deathmaster is dead. We need to worry about him. Deathmaster has finally met his own patron. Let's get the black coaches to go after the Eshin Sorcerer. Come on, Pwn. I need more points from your army. Come on. Oh god. It's so close. I need to let that sorcerer come back so I can surround it with knights and then get the points. Let's head it off here. We got look how annoying gutter runners are. Jesus. All right, can we reach you? Very good. Oh, we're climbing. Flee. Come on, black coach. Oh yes, give us that Eshin Sorcerer. That's a bunch of HP. All right, so one goes here. One cuts off the angle of escape. And oh, he's using the ninja stars. Oh, they hit the tree. That's so disappointing. Oh man. Come on, Blood Knights. Go get those gutter runners. Keep running them down. The black coaches are ramming the Eshin Sorcerer. Vlad is in pretty immaculate shape. He's good. He's taking his beatings this game, but you know, that's what he's designed to do. Man, I just cannot catch these stupid rats. Oh, this fight's great for me here. Yeah, I think we got this. This is a lot of points the Blood Knights are farming. What are these? Vixren's Death Squad? Holy shit, look at that. Damn, dude. The Eshin schemes. The incompetence of the underlings is the reason for this Skaven's failure. Dude, old one, you're 100% right, dude. Oh god, come on. Come on. End it. Where is he hiding other things? That's the question. Oh, hold on. It's one time that stupid button is helpful. Okay. Do we have any like mobility that can get over there? Let's go get him. The Eshin Sorcerer still getting run over. Vlad and family are here. Well, when we play FFAs, we don't like, you know, follow the tournament rules super strict. It's kind of like you can get a little bit more wild. Okay, Pwn's gonna get some points, but we're about to catch him on natural points, so I think we're good. Oh yeah, get in there, Knights. Man, the Blood Knights must have gotten crazy value. Holy shit! Oh, 3,000, 4,000 value on those Blood Knights. Damn, son. All right, the spooky vampires have done it. There's the dreaded Eshin Sorcerer here. He's getting escorted across the map by the black coaches. Black coaches are such funny models. I remember when they used to just be so bad. And back in the early days. Finish him! I don't know where the rest of Pwn's army is. Pwn says, no, I don't want to eat hot dogs. Oh, that's so funny. Pwn, dude, you have to eat hot dogs now, bro. The price must be paid. Okay, we got some Eshin rats over there too. We got to hunt down. I mean, I would say this build is pretty good. This vampire count build, it's like pretty durable and hard to kill, and can fight 1v1s, can survive 2v1s. Yeah, the Blood Knights are so good. Such a cool unit. Let's invo them just for the style points. Vlad taking some damage. Here we go. Let's ride down the triads here. The Blood Knights should be able to kill him. They got like 6 leadership left. Some little crypt ghouls over there. Just slowly bitten by the horses. We'll call that Pwn Eshin. And we will cast that one later. We'll see. Last time you played Black Coaches. Yep. Oh, TRT Vitor. I love the name, dude. That's funny. He'll probably go back on his TRT in Bellator, wherever he's fighting, right? Yeah, so Vlad, 1900. White Kings did okay. Nothing special. 1400, 1500, 25, and 3800 on those Blood Knights, earning triple chevrons. Holy shit. Rapunzel did pretty good at 17. Henry got about 1,000. The Bretonnian Knights kind of got dunked on a little bit, but yeah, his heroes did good. For the Coast is, you're always kind of at risk of, yeah, Contende, that's true. It was a risky one. You're always kind of at risk of getting swarmed as Vampire Coast in this FFA format. He put up a valiant fight against Clan Eshin, the old one he did, but in the end, the dreaded Eshin Vanguard. I think Pwn truly is the winner of this game. Like, my build's kind of boring. Like, his is really the fun meme, and he almost won with it too. 2-1, 1-3, 6-9, yeah, pretty good. I mean, all of his little slingers. Damn, 1,700, 2,000 on those slingers. Holy shit. Those guys were no joke, man. Sea level Kane could beat TRT Vitor. Ooh, yeah, probably. I mean, I think Vitor is middleweight or light heavyweight. I can't remember. I think Kane is a heavyweight. So, yeah, hands down, Deathmaster got the most. 2,100, 1,900, 1,700, and Noctilus got 1,000. Yep, Deathmaster, he definitely gets the crown. All right, guys, that is going to be it for today. Thank you guys all so much for joining. I had an absolute blast as usual with you all. I'll be back maybe tomorrow with another stream. So I'm thinking tomorrow or the next day I'll do a spin the wheel tournament where it's a King of the Hill, but we spin the wheel to determine the player's faction. We'll do something fun like that. Thank you guys so much, though. It was a blast. Thanks to all the players who are playing in the Swiss League for the replays as well. Always a good time to go through those. And big thanks to Allegeron, Gallahan, Flying Potato, Winan, Martin Hearn? Was it Heen? Hearn, it looks like. Kispancum, Italian Spartacus, Kevin McLaughlin, Joseph Rocca, Ephraim Va. Thank you guys all so much for your donations. It means a lot. It was a fun stream. I had a blast. Stay tuned. Lots of fun stuff on the horizon. You're going to be seeing the Team League, Swiss League, World Championship's going to be starting in February. It's going to be fun. So I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do ECL before or after the World Championships. I kind of want to focus on one or the other, but anyways, I'll think about it. Something to talk about. All right, guys. Thank you so much. You take care. Stay safe. Avoid Nurgle's Plague. Enjoy time with your family, and yeah, that's it. Cheers, guys. GG's.